jealousy. Yeah. Now this is time. We need education, more than bullets and bombs. Now this is time. We need to care for the young and old, more than silver and gold. Now this is time. We have to wake up and change the world. As a result of 2,000 years of hypocrisy, ego-driven leaders in pursuit of property, power and wealth and fame, oppressing and murdering, killing all in God's name. Iniquity spread across the nation. Humanity is into separation. In the midst of a darkest hour, we rise to reclaim our power. In this time, we love and unity, more than hate and jealousy. Yeah. In this time, we need education, more than bullets and bombs. We say we not give up, not give up, not give up. Oh no, we not give it, not give it, not give up. Mission using dirty politicians, brainwash education, war on religion, racial division, food with no nutrition. Hey, this is the Babylon system. Their intention to use all the wicked invention, all the propaganda promoting consumerism, and silent distraction, only misdirection to break high and high connection. But if you want come from me, make you know say what I want. This is how I get you ready for the Armageddon. I'm in for the revolution, power by love and compassion. Cause if we go at them with weapons, then they have more guns. Go at them with money, then they have more funds. With unification, then time soon done. We owe to our daughters and sons in a decent time. Love and unity, more than hate and jealousy. Yeah. In this is time, we need education, more than bullets and bombs. In this is time, we need to care for the young and old, more than silver and gold. In this is time, we have to wake up and change the world. In this is time, we need love and unity, more than hate and jealousy. Yeah. In this is time, we need education, more than bullets and bombs. In this time, we need to care for the young and old, more than silver and gold. In this time, we have to wake up and change the world.
I'm on the next level, yeah, I know you heard about it.
Motherfucker.
You know I'm bout it, and don't you ever doubt it. I'm incomparable, that's why they staring though. Turn up the stereo, check it out, check it out, check it out. I'm hot just like a sauna, New York to California. Too hot, too hot. You ain't seen nothing like this, nobody do it like this. I'm on that next level, next level, on the next level. They all tryna catch up to my next level, next level, on the next level. Check it out, check it out, check it out. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la.
Motherfucker.
You like that old school, back in the music, that shit is old news. I'm popping through the ceiling, that's my motto, that's my motto. I lead, they follow. I'm hot just like a sauna, New York to California. Too hot, too hot. You ain't seen nothing like this, nobody do it like this.
Motherfucker.
I'm on the next level, next level, on the next level. They all tryna catch up to my next level, next level, on the next level. Check it out, check it out, check it out.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. I got my co-host here with me tonight. Of course, Shapu is here. Welcome.
Hi, everyone.
And we are back for part 2 of Melted Arizona. And of course, we have Crystal Pyramid with us. What's up, Crystal?
Hey guys, again, super excited to be here. I just got back from a 4-day Boots road trip, so I have a lot to share tonight.
I cannot wait to get into it. It's going to be awesome. So we were talking backstage a little bit about our passion for Meltology, and you know, you were really getting into it, Crystal, and you really drove home how it makes you feel and how it's changed your life. And I'd like to start off with that with you tonight and continue that conversation, because I've had a lot of other people tell me the same thing. You know, all these other truths really hit them hard, including flat earth, but this is just on a whole nother level, and the passion behind it, it's amazing. So tell us all about it.
Okay, so I felt really comfortable talking to you guys backstage because I know both of you. So hopefully I can flow like that, knowing that there's other people watching. So I'm still new to this whole public speaking thing. So I'll do my best to try not to be awkward here. But as a kid, and my entire life, I've always felt incredibly out of place in the world. Like I've been a fly on the wall, just kind of watching myself and watching everything around me happening, never fitting in anywhere. But I have been intuitively drawn to rocks since I was a very small child. I remember I started collecting rocks when I was about 4 years old. I remember the first rock I found and stuck in my pocket and decided to keep, actually. It was a little piece. I found it by a merry-go-round in the sand in a playground behind where I lived. And it was a little piece of sedimentary stone, which we now know is, you know.
It's a piece of a building.
Yeah. And I remember looking at it and just wondering what the story was there, because for me, when I hold rocks, I feel as though they vibrate, like they're a living entity, just as alive as you or me or anybody else, but in a different way. And I've always felt at one with rocks my entire life. And anyway, fast forward to present day. I'm trying not to be too long-winded here, but
Okay.
I could talk about this
Take
forever.
your time.
Okay. I've tried out, I went to college and I tried out, you know, different career paths, and I have a beautiful son, but I always felt like there was something like this deep aching void inside myself, like just this pit of emptiness, this feeling of being completely unfulfilled, no matter how hard I was working in school and no matter how successful I was, you know, at these different paths, you know, that are already there. And if you flow down them and if you're good at it, you're defined as a successful person. And I tried all those masks on, and I tried those careers on, and I was still left feeling just empty. Like I didn't know what my purpose was in the world. I didn't know why I was here. I didn't know what I was here to do. I felt
Right.
like there was something greater and something more important for me to do than just be successful at a career and make money and pay off my stuff.
Right.
And even my relationship with my son, I mean, being a mother is the most important job I've ever had, but even that within itself wasn't enough to complete me, to fulfill me. And so when I started getting into this alternative history stuff, it started with megaliths 6 years ago. And as I started getting into the alternative history, and then Tartaria, and then of course flat earth and space and fake space, and all the propaganda that we're surrounded by, dinosaur propaganda, space propaganda, this like in the Truman Show, people accept reality as it is presented to them.
Exactly.
But then when I got into Meltology and started seeing that these landforms that because I took a bunch of geology courses in college, these landforms that are defined as sedimentary, or this is a volcano, or this is a canyon. And now that I see that that's all wrong, and that's all, it's false. It's a narrative. I can't stop. I feel like I'm on the path to, I feel like something is working through me. Something greater than me is working through me. I feel like an instrument at this point. I don't know if anything I'm saying makes sense.
Well, let me pause you there, because that's interesting, because we are in the apocalypse and all is being revealed. And I've always said this, we are the apocalypse. The apocalypse is happening through us. We are bringing out these truths to the forefront for people to see with new eyes. The flat earth has always been there right in front of our faces. We never saw it. These melted buildings have always been there in front of our faces. We just never saw it because we were conditioned at a very young age. And it's been by design. They've hidden the shape of this place where we live, the dome, and then, you know, they put space there between us and the creator. That's all NASA has ever done, is put space there. And then they lie to us and tell us these are natural geological features and it takes millions of years to form. It happens so over such a long period of time, you can't even see it happening, when actually we're seeing something that we should actually know is happening, whether you want to call it God's judgment or an X factor event, that it is some type of a cyclical nature to it. And we are a part of it. And we have an effect upon it just as much as it has an effect upon us and the plane that we're on. And I think that's why they hide it from us and want us to see it in another light, because maybe we'll live our lives differently. Maybe we'll pay more attention to, like, why would they hide the creator? Why would they work so hard every day, 24/7, faking space, teaching it to our kids, having it in science books and stuff with all this mumbo jumbo science behind it and everything? There's got to be something greater out there going on that they're hiding. They're working so hard to cover it with all these lies. Mm-hmm. And this is what I think it is that, you know, we are the center of everything. We are that important, and we play a part in this. And our part right now, and your part, is to see this, know what it is, be able to verbalize it and show it to people. And then we can be reminded of what happened before, so we don't make those mistakes again. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But my soul is on fire with a sense of purpose I've never had before. And I can't stop. I can't. I think about this 24/7. I dream about it. I wake up and I just want to go find more evidence. Mm. And my relationship, you know, like even with my child is changing, because I feel like I am bringing into his life something of true substance and of true value. Whereas before, you know, go to school and you know, just the standard narrative. Mm-hmm. But this information, it's completely transformative, and your understanding of who you are changes the more you get into this, because our understanding of ourselves is based so much on how we relate to the reality that we have been taught. Yes. And once you realize that the reality that we base our identity off of is a false reality, mm-hmm. everything changes.
Everything.
And my relationships with people, that's a huge thing that's changing for me. And I feel I've always, and even right now I feel awkward, and I can't say I've been the most confident person in my, you know, throughout my life, but I feel like I know who I am for the first time in my life. The more I get into this, I have I know why I'm here, and I never had that before. And so
it's an amazing feeling, isn't it? When you're on your purpose and you know your purpose, and it's like, I mean, I've had people ask me, they're like, why are you so passionate about this? I'm like, why aren't you? Like, what? This is profound. This is just amazing.
I feel like I can give something of value to the people that I love, whereas before I didn't really feel that way. Mm-hmm. And like my son, for example, sharing this knowledge with him, I feel like I'm like a mother, really, for the first time. I feel like I'm guiding my son into a meaningful new world, a meaningful new reality, a reality in which we can truly understand who we are and why we're here and what this place is. So yeah, I feel confident for the first time ever, because I feel like I know who I am. And the reason I feel like I know who I am is because all these layers of social conditioning are just shedding away. Mm-hmm. And I'm finding myself down there underneath all the years of propaganda. And anyway, I'm rambling again.
No, it's okay. Ramble on. I think that's a song. Ramble on, Led Zeppelin.
But I just feel like I'm giving something to the world. I feel like I'm leaving.
And you're giving something to yourself as well, because you can feel that fulfillment in yourself, and you want that fulfillment to just overflow, you know, and reach everyone.
Yeah. But I'm having trouble with sleep. Like I said, I feel like there's something greater working through me and guiding me to these places, and the places I'm finding and the places I'm stumbling across. It's like how is that happening?
Right. So I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you, like Shapu was saying, your research, Shapu, you were saying, you know, you didn't even know how it came to you. You just stumbled upon it. And then we went over it on the last show. It was amazing. You weren't even really looking for it. You just came upon it. But when you're in line with truth, truth flows to you. You don't have to do much to find the truth. It's going to find you because you're already in line with it.
Yes, exactly. This is how I've been living my life, my entire life, you know, not trying too hard to find or do something, because it's, when you try too hard, it's like pushing, making resistance in the world. You're like resisting the world that trying to come to you, to talk to you. And when you let go, it all comes to you like that, you know. It's and like Crystal said, we were all asleep at some time, you know, doing our life, going everyday life, trying to just work and find out why we are here and all. And one day it just clicks and you woke up from that, and it's a nice, now you live like in a beautiful world, you know. But it's destroyed, but you know, your world is much better now. And
It's better because you're free from the lies. And when you get free from the lies, your curiosity just goes crazy. Cause like I've been to places, and then, you know, I mean, yeah, they're pretty awe inspiring and cool looking, but you know, I had a different perception of what it was. I was under a perception deception. I go back to those places and I'm like a little kid in a candy store. I'm just like, I can't get enough of it. You know what I mean? And people are looking at me like, what is she looking at over there? Look, she's just like glued to that wall over there. Something like as if I'm looking at a UFO in the sky. Everybody's like, what does she see up there? You know?
Yeah. But, anyway, yeah, I've run out of things to say.
No, you're okay. Don't worry about it. No, you were saying how it inspiring you to tell your child. How old's your son?
17.
17. Okay, great. So you're waking him up to it. What's it like for him? Is he grasping what you're saying? Are you showing him the evidence as you're telling him?
I think he's starting to. And I've talked to him about how so much of what he's learning in school, especially in history, it's to get him to perceive the world in a certain way. Mm-hmm. And I think he's starting to understand that he's been born into a system that was already designed, to manipulate him into seeing things a certain way. And I think he's starting to think outside of that now, trying to think outside the box. So I see it beginning to have an effect on him.
That's good. Yeah. Because eventually he's going to ask why. Why are they lying? What is the big question is why? And that's what we've been uncovering. We're starting to really get to the why of the matter. And it all has to do with the cyclical nature, this God's judgment, X factor thing, how we're connected to it. This all lines up with why would they hide the timeline, his story overlay of our story and what's really going on here. It all makes sense, you know?
And you can try telling everyone all of that we find, but they have to see it for themselves to really sink in, you know, because you can talk and tell people that they kind of understand, but they don't really do it. But once they see it for themselves, that's when it's all come back to them, you know. Oh, well, yeah, somebody just told me this and told me that, and it's the puzzle just gets done when you figure out yourself, you know.
To add to what you're saying, I feel like for the first time in my life, I'm making a difference. And that, you know, when my time comes, that I won't look back on my life and think that I didn't accomplish anything. That even, God forbid, if something happened and I was about to, you know, got hit by a bus tomorrow, I feel like I have accomplished something in this life that was worthwhile.
Yeah. And you know what? People cannot say that you stood by and did nothing. You found out that the lie was this fucking big and you shared it. You did not keep it to yourself. You did not hold it in. You did not stay in the closet and be like, okay, I know this a massive truth here, but I'm not going to share it with anybody because I'm afraid of being scorned or judged or anything. You put yourself out there. And that's why the title of my channel here, it says Domestic Truther 69. And then it says, let it not be said that we stood by and did nothing. When my grandkids walk this earth, you know, I don't have any grandkids yet, but if I'm not here, they will know from my children, from my 2 sons, that their grandmother did not stand by and do nothing when all this fucking crap was going on.
Oh,
And they,
yes.
yeah.
No, you nailed it. We didn't stand. And I just wrote some notes down for myself. But I forget how the quote goes exactly, but when a person sees a lie so big that other people just can't comprehend the scale of the lie, people will think you're crazy.
Yeah.
And that's what we're getting into here, because the depth of the deception is so deep and in so many different facets of our life, you know, from Hollywood and government and this and that. I mean, the world is a stage. Our history is fake. Geology is a narrative. And a few people now have commented to me, you're obsessed with this stuff. But it's not obsession. It's something beyond that. It's purpose.
It's purpose filled. Yeah.
It's
purpose filled, and it's the importance you feel. You feel that there's this importance for you to get it out, not just so much that it's fulfilling you and you're on your purpose, but the importance of getting the information out, because we are in that apocalypse time. And this is where we're all experiencing this. It's like, like we got that information the other day. Shapu came upon it, and I'm like, we got to go live with this. Like, we could have waited until next week or something. I'm like, no, we got to get this out there. We got to do this.
I have 2 more notes for myself if I'm not going too long here. But with all of this new knowledge, for me, for the first time in my life, although I still have my humanly obligations and, you know, a credit card to pay off, and I've got a car payment, you know, I have all of these things attaching me to this reality and this human experience and these human responsibilities. But I feel free, though. For the first time really ever in my life, I feel a sense of abundance, and I feel a sense of freedom and a detachment from this circus that is my daily life of property taxes and insurance. And all of that stuff now is external to me. It's like something I have to do. It's something I have to take care of. And those things were my life before, you know, tending to those daily tasks, completing the assignment, whatever it might be. But all of that has become external to me now. It's stuff I still have to do. It's things we still have to do so we can keep the lights on and have food in the fridge. But it's not life to me anymore. That's just stuff I have to do and get done. And whereas before I was trying to derive a sense of purpose from that stuff that you have to do to sustain yourself in this fake world. And I kept trying to derive purpose from that box that I was confined in. And now I realize that box isn't real. And I still have to do all the things in the box, but I'm not in the box. I don't know if any of that made sense.
Yeah, it makes total sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And the last note, I'm sorry if I'm cutting you guys off, but the last,
you're good.
Especially with the Sodom and Gomorrah stuff. So there's a place I love hiking here, Picket Post Mountain. It's not a mountain. It's like a giant melted castle in Superior, Arizona. And there's an area it's clearly a melted building. It's got apertures and it looks like castle turrets or something. And it chips off, just like the structures in Sodom and Gomorrah. And again, long story short, I've never been a religious person. I've always been interested in the Bible. I've always considered it a historical document, you know, worth knowing about and learning about. But it's been translated so many times, and so many books are missing, and so much has been lost and altered. But this whole Meltology thing has turned into a spiritual journey, not just an academic journey, but like a really spiritual journey. Because, okay. Here, I'm just going to say it. I've never been an atheist, but for the first time in my life, I'm really beginning to believe. Oh God, this is such a big thing to say. But I'm
Just
really
do it, girl. Do it.
I'm gonna put it out there. Okay, I'm really beginning to believe in something greater, like even God, if you will. Whereas before, I never had that connection. And
a lot of people came to that conclusion as well when they came upon flat Earth. I heard a lot of people say that as well.
yeah.
Yep.
And
But
especially
this even more reaffirms it when you get onto Meltology and stuff and all this stuff. Continue. I'm sorry.
no, I'm sorry to interrupt. But just I wonder, I can't help but wonder, especially with how much melted stuff is mentioned in the Bible, if we really are seeing God's destruction, the wrath of God, if this is more than just a cyclical, naturally occurring event that I don't know what the cause would be. If this is more than just an energy grid overload and meltdown because old world advanced technology somehow malfunctioned, I think there's something much greater going on here, because it's like there's not a single part of this realm that hasn't been touched by this event.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, yeah.
Well, that was an amazing outlet there for you. I just love listening to people's personal stories and journeys and how they've grown from this. Meltology has changed my life, and it's changed many people's lives here in the chat, just like Flat Earth. And the Mandela effect is a part of this as well. This is all part of this kind of like birthing pains that we're going to go through when we come up to the next cycle of what may come in the near future. And I'm not predicting anything or anything like that, but I do think that we're in line for another one of these events to come. That's why we were at where we're at right now with society and everything falling apart, and, you know, demoralization of everything, the breaking up the family, all this stuff. The lies are just so profane. The externalization of the hierarchy, you can just see all their bullshit now because we're in the apocalypse. All this stuff is, everything is just falling apart, and all the truths are starting to come out, and they're coming out through us. And it's just been an amazing journey. And now we're going to get into your amazing journey into Flagstaff and whatever other pictures and videos you got. I know you got a lot of stuff, girl, and I want to get right into it because I gave that first half hour to you to talk, and now we're just going to springboard right into all your stuff.
Okay, so here's what I did over the past 4 days. And again, a huge thank you to Shapu for sharing these places in the first Melted Arizona stream. But I went to Wapatki National Monument in Flagstaff. I went to Walnut Canyon in Flagstaff. I tried going to Blue Canyon, but that is on an Indian reservation and you have to have a permit. And for whatever reason, permits are not being issued right now. So I wasn't able to make it out there. So instead, I went to the Colorado River Gorge, Horseshoe Bend, the Apache Death Cave, and Meteor Crater.
Oh,
and
it's going to be so good.
I have more than we could possibly share tonight. So I'll just, and I got back yesterday and I'm not completely organized and I was having some computer issues. So I'm just going to have to dig into my iCloud. I was trying to put them in folders to be super organized, but it wasn't working out for me.
No problem. You do it however you need to do it.
Okay. So I apologize for the bit of disorganization here, but I've just been busy. So
It's okay.
All right. So
Yeah,
yes,
I've heard that there are other places like that you need a permit just to go visit, like the Wave and the Vermilion Cliffs. I think you need like a permit to go there too. So I don't know why they do that, but probably to control that.
I didn't know you needed a permit there. That's crazy.
there's so much of the state that's off limits because
I bet.
Yeah, because of all the reservations, and no disrespect to the native inhabitants by saying this, but I think that I think in part some of the reasons these reservations exist in certain areas is to keep you from going certain places, because there's so many permits that you have to have. And I've actually been approached by tribal police before for trespassing, and I didn't even know I was on a reservation. That was scary.
Wow.
And there are these huge structured melted buildings all over the reservations out here. So wow. I think that's partly to, anyway.
Yeah, well, the Indians are given a historical narrative that they follow as well, that, you know, that they lived in teepees and hunter-gatherers and all this stuff like that. But there is some old legends and stories steeped way down into the Indian stuff. Go ahead, Shapu. You want to say something?
Yes, I was waiting for you to finish.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
But yes, these Indians, nobody knows because they all got taken away from their land and put in these institution. Even like what you call again these mental institute or
Oh yeah.
boarding schools and everything, and then they tell them their stories. The white man just told them their own stories, but that wasn't true, so now they just go back and tell their new children the same story that the white man told them, but it's not true, and they still go with the same story today, and this is
Yeah.
really sad.
John Levy had mentioned on one of his shows that I guess one of his subscribers left a comment about some Indian stuff that their grandparents, these elders, knew the original stories. And it was that these buildings were all here and they were like the protectors of them or something.
Yes. They lived in.
Oh, I'm sorry, Shipu, go ahead.
No, they lived in all these buildings, They didn't live in tipis, and everybody knows you live in a tent if you go hunt, but you come back to your house. Everywhere they had houses, but now they have separated in some live in tipis, some live in houses. No, they live in houses like everybody else,
Like the ruins at Flagstaff that you're going to show, they're considered Indian ruins.
They are. And the narrative behind that from the research I've done is that these caves were naturally eroded limestone caves, and they built the little structures in the eroded caves, the little walls. But when you get right up on those walls, you can see they're melted walls. There's those bricks, you can see they're melted bricks. The entire canyon, the walls of the canyon, there's little pockets of survival all throughout the walls of the canyon in the most precarious of places. Like, how the hell would they even get up there?
Yeah.
And these structures are so big, it's hard to grasp. The walls of the canyon are building the entire depth. And then I'll show you in the photo, but I just got to say this real quick. But as you get closer and closer to the bottom of the canyon, you see that the sandstone crossbedding, which we now know is related to the brick lines and how things melt, and the stuff you were talking about yesterday, Shipu, with the transition. And
Yes.
But it's interesting because that sandstone crossbedding occurs at the bottom of the canyon, and I think that has to do with weight and the weight of the structures. So anyway, but what I was saying. So, and there was one more place, like probably the biggest place I went to, I forgot to mention, were the lava fields north of Flagstaff. Whoa. There's a lot going on there. So, okay. Would you like me to go ahead and share my screen?
Yeah, let's get right into a screen share.
I want to say commercial sound and video. Look up yesterday's stream. You probably find a lot of things there, because the question is asking can we take a moment to look into what the melting point of typical object is? The science theories that I showed yesterday, they talk about it, so you can go
and I have those links in the description below the stream here. So if you click off the chat and go to more underneath the description, you'll see all those links at the very bottom that we were showing last night. It shows the polymorph, the that growth thing that you were showing.
Grain growth, yes.
Grain growth, and then the whole site that we went through with the maps and stuff.
What is it again? A sintering.
I have sintering in there too. The sintering link is in there as well. All right, guys, we're getting into a screen share here.
Is my screen share working?
Yeah, I just clicked on it. It should come up in just a second.
Okay.
Here we go.
All right. And all right. It says it's working on my end.
Yep, you're good.
Super. Okay, so here's the narrative pamphlet. We're just going to skip over that for now. Okay. And get right into the evidence. So I have like 600 photos maybe to share, so I'm just going to go kind of fast here.
All right, what's this location here?
So this is in Flagstaff. This is the Wapatki National Monument. WUPATKI.
Okay.
So just outside of Flagstaff, not far from Sunset Crater Volcano. I also explored around there a few months ago. Tons of photos from there, but probably not time for that tonight.
Crystal's link to her YouTube channel is in the description below this live stream, guys. And if anybody wants to grab it and throw it in the chat while we're streaming, that would be great too. Everybody make sure you sub and bell Crystal's channel. She's got really, really good footage.
Thank you so much for sharing my channel. I've uploaded a few videos from my trip. I still have 6 or 7 more videos to upload, so I'll get to that in the next few days. So here we are. Let's jump into the evidence, not waste any time. That's melted right there in the middle of all these bricks.
Shapu, you want to talk about this?
Well, I'll let Crystal tell what she saw there and probably had something.
And I saw it was interesting. We have this really cooked black brick right here.
Oh, yeah.
Very interesting. So much to do with what you were talking about yesterday, Shapu, with how environmental conditions can cause the rapid grain growth in certain areas and not others, and heat distribution and
yes,
all
the
of the
way
mechanics.
and how the brick was made in the beginning too. You know, there's so many different
Factors.
Factors, exactly. Thank you, Jen. You're always there.
So this is very interesting. And then we have another cooked brick right here, a very black cooked brick.
Mm-hmm.
And
wow.
And if I'm just going to go ahead and hop to the next photo.
Mm-hmm. I have my magnifying glass out.
Okay. if I skip over something, you want me to go back, please let us know. We'll skip that video for, well, let's see.
Hey guys, so I just got to Wapataki National Monument, and Shipu shared some incredible photos of this structure, this melted, mangled structure in the melted Arizona stream. And I just had to come out here and see it for myself. Look at this, super melt.
I'm not sure how good you guys can see the video. It's kind of small on my screen.
No, it looks good. We have it on big screen, so everybody at home can see it, should be able to see it just fine.
Okay. But I'll skip over that and just, I think the photos might be better than the videos. So, lots of melting right here. You can still see the brick lines a little bit right here.
Yes.
And
yeah, the side wall where it transitions into the wall, you can see like the first part at the bottom where you were showing the melt.
Okay.
At the bottom part, if you go back down.
The bottom part, okay.
Yes, right there where the wall transitions into the real wall. You can see like the mangled parts, like the bricks are just wanky everywhere, and it's crazy.
Yeah, it gets better. Woo! Goodness. Oh my goodness, what do we have here? So much happening in such a small area.
Yes.
Look at this. And of course, we have another little black brick here, and we have the bubbling here. And it looks like it's beginning to drip down, maybe begin to form a bit of a rock curtain right there. And then you can see the bricks on top of this melted mass right here. This is just wild. My mind exploded when I saw this.
Yes.
You can see the bricks right in here. So,
yeah, this is amazing evidence right here. You can see that transition from the top coming down into that melt.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, around this place, Crystal, there's only one building kind of left. The rest are all like destroyed, or did you see it? other buildings around the place, or just remains like small walls?
There are several other buildings like this, the pueblos, and that are all partially melted. And I just saw them from the road as I drove past. I need to go back out there and explore more, but there are several other partially melted structures in this area.
Nice.
There's yeah, this is such clear evidence. It's just, I don't know how you can't see it. That I mean, what the heck is the explanation here that they put bricks on top of this massive naturally occurring something? I mean,
exactly. That's exactly what they say.
how? Anyway.
It's always like a fortification or something, or it has to do with getting the higher ground from their enemies, or something lame like that. Like the caves in Georgia, the country of Georgia. Shapu, remember we showed those?
Yes.
It's like in the middle of the mountain. The narrative for that is because, invading armies. Yeah. By the time they dug those things out, the armies would have been long gone.
just like the Star Fort narratives.
Yeah.
Give me a break. But look at this. This is here at the base. We have this large melted mass here on the left, and then all these black bricks intermixed. Jeez.
And we can see the abnormal grain growth.
Yep.
Exactly, Shapu. Yes. I thought of that stuff when you were talking about it last night. I thought it's like this kind of stuff. And the other photo we had up where you could see a big boulder in a brick wall. It was like, this explains it.
Yeah, this is what we call balloon rocks. But the scientific term is abnormal grain growth. So.
Abnormal. We are creating the language here. We're creating the Meltology language as we go along.
Exactly. And one day we're going to have a University of Meltology campus.
That'd be awesome. We need to write a book.
We'll be teachers there. Yes.
But this is a whole new science that all of us are putting together through all of our research all around the world.
Yeah,
That's
Crystal,
right.
This is the next step, the book with all the explanation and with the greatest pictures and the explanation and showing what's going on. This is probably the next step we need to do to grow this thing,
And then we need to start teaching our kids. We need to start teaching our kids this because they're going to grow up and go to the University of Meltology.
Yeah, that's one reason I don't
free.
Because trying to find someone that doesn't want to let their kids go to school, it's really hard. So it didn't happen with me, but it's one reason.
We have to take our children's mindsets back because they're the future and they're going to see this world exactly the way these fuckers want them to see it. And we have to show them otherwise. We have to show them the truth. The truth is right in front of our faces every day, all day long. We just have to take the blinders off. And we can take them off. We can take them off of our kids. I've done it. I've done it since my kids were young, and they're 32 and 28 now.
Yeah. It's just like They Live, that movie, putting on the glasses.
Exactly.
But yeah, my son is enrolled in the Meltology University, whether he wants to be or not. Damn it, because I never stop talking about this stuff. I'm sure he's sick of hearing about it. So. Poor Edo. He's a good kid. He's a good kid. So check this out. We have the black bricks right here, and yeah, it just speaks for itself. Incredible. We see some brick lines here, obvious melted bubbling here, black bricks, just incredible. So
absolutely.
I'll move on because I definitely want to get to Walnut Canyon. So much to share there.
Okay, I'll be right back, guys.
Okay. And here's a wonderful partially melted wall where the natives decided to put some bricks on top of this large rock. Yeah.
Crystal, you have a beautiful smile. You're just beautiful inside and out. I just want to tell you that.
Thank you.
You're a beautiful soul.
I feel happy, really.
Your soul is glowing. You're glowing in that last picture.
I feel so truly happy to go to these places and actually see them for the first time. I feel like a child just re-experiencing the world and actually
Exactly.
seeing it for the first time in my life.
Yep. Yeah. I got it, girl. I know what you mean. It's
And
amazing.
and of course, my connection with the sky is changed so much, and sunsets and moon rises and all of that. So eclipses, that's a big one.
Oh yeah. Yeah. John Levy just did a video on eclipses. I haven't watched it yet. I heard it was pretty good.
He lives not too far from me. I used to live in Salt Lake City, actually. So
Yeah, he's got some crazy stuff out there around him.
yeah, Salt Lake was interesting. All kinds of Tartarian stuff. And sadly, before I knew anything about Tartaria. But we have a solid melted brick wall intermixed here with bricks that haven't completely melted down. But you can see some brick lines right in here.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a nice cooked brick right there. So I'm just going to keep on going unless you want me to stop.
Just scroll down to that little cooked brick again.
All right.
Okay.
This one right here?
Yeah, that little one right there. So do you guys think that they put in all these nice flat bricks and then they just picked up that one janky rock and just said, well, we need this right here? Because without this one little janky rock, this whole thing ain't going to work.
Yeah, no, that's a wonderful point. I mean, why put something so discolored and kind of and janky amongst all this other beautiful red brick?
Right. It's a clinker brick. It's the style. That's what it is.
There's a website. Someone shared it in one of the groups, a website where you can buy clinker bricks.
Uh-huh.
And I love the descriptions on the website. These bricks were overcooked. Oh, you think?
Oops.
Yeah, didn't mean to admit to anything there.
Yeah, it's melted, but we melted them by accident. That's what it was.
Yeah. We accidentally overcooked them in the kiln. So, and put them amongst the other bricks that aren't overcooked because that just makes sense. The narrative is like really badly constructed. It's just pitiful.
It is. When you start discovering the truth and then you look back at the narratives, you're like, oh my God, this is just so lame.
They're not even trying.
Right.
But since it's all you know, you don't question it.
Mm-hmm. And if you do question it, you're going to question it to the people who are in authority, and they're going to give you the same lame mainstream crap as the answer.
But guys, this was my favorite part of the monument. And I remember that this is a little nook that you walk into. I'm pretty sure I wasn't supposed to be in there. But I just talk about evidence in a photo. Look at this.
Wow.
You have this super melted wall right here. And then you can clearly see the partially melted bricks right here on top of them. And then you can see the bricks that aren't cooked right here. Here's the janky brick. And then you have this wall over here that's not completely cooked out.
Yeah, but you can still see one that is like perfect on that wall, you know?
I need to close my window. Someone's playing music loud. One sec.
And also on the left-hand side, you can see the brick line pattern still following through, coming all the way across.
Yes.
Are you talking, which side are you talking about, Chico?
On the right side, right in the middle, you can see like the perfect rectangular brick with two perfect ones just beside it. Right on the right wall.
On the right wall.
Directly in the middle.
Right here.
Closer to the back wall. Closer to the back wall. Right there. This.
Yep.
The two ones and the one that is perfect size, straight, flat, didn't get affected at all.
I have a picture of that specific area that you're talking about. It caught my attention too.
Yeah, wow, these are really good pictures. I love how much you can zoom in on them.
Yeah.
Wow.
You can see this one It's closer to a brick, not the pancaking brick, but a regular one, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A lot of transition states going on here.
And that's where the evidence is. That's where the rubber meets the road right there. You know, when you could see that transition, like you were just pointing out, it's solid. And then you could see the layering, and then you got good brick right above it, and it's all going right into each other.
But it's so interesting to me how in these partially melted structures, you have this wall here that's fused and all the bricks have melted and solidified into a solid mass. And then you have these bricks here that you can tell are heat damaged, but not melted as much. And the stuff that you were getting into yesterday, Shippu, helps to explain how that can occur.
Exactly. Exactly.
And that's a big thing that we, as a community, for us to kind of work on, is because we intuitively see it. You know, we know what we're looking at.
Yeah.
But to be able to explain it in a way, you know, as a scientific way to people just coming into this gives this field so much more credibility. And so that stuff was just gold yesterday, Shippu.
Yeah, thank you.
So, yeah.
Yes, I know. When I found it, it's just, wow, this is what we've been looking for, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. And let's see. Oh, I think I already shared this photo, but this is a bit more of a close-up. We have the scorched balloon bricks here. Yeah. And look how much transition's happening in one photo. So
It's amazing.
This melted mass of brick right here, the scorched bricks, the deformed bricks, you know, this solid melted brick wall right here, these bricks right here. We need to take a group field trip out here.
Right? I'm in. When I come back from visiting Ceiling Fan Man, I'll have to book a ticket out to see you.
Yeah. You know how you can go on these guided tours in Egypt, like these alternative history guided tours in Egypt?
Right.
We need to have like a guided Meltology tour in Arizona.
Okay, look, what's that at the bottom there? Is that a pipe popping out of the wall? Look at that.
I was wondering about that. I
It
wonder
looks
if
like
that,
piping.
I was trying to figure that out too. Like, was that installed to help with drainage during the monsoon season? It just seemed like odd placement to me, but I noticed that as well.
Wow. What do you think, Shippu?
I don't know if it's been added later, how long it is, how deep it goes, because if it's just like on the surface, maybe it was added later, but if it goes really deep inside the wall, could be there for a long time, you know.
Interesting.
I don't know. So
could be some old plumbing. We don't know.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Getting into old world plumbing and oceans and river basins and how you have these waterfalls flowing out of these melted buildings. But that's a topic for another time. I don't want to get too sidetracked here.
Yeah, because when you do a normal brick wall, you always left like small gaps for the water to drain. Because we, like yesterday, we have seen that if there's too much moisture, the transformation, it's easier. And it's probably why they have these drainage in regular brick walls. And they probably knew the same thing back then, you know.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. Shippu, here's your giant balloon rock. I went there.
I've seen the video.
Thanks to Shippu and his evidence that he showed last night, this makes sense now. We can make sense of this now.
Yes. It's a really abnormal grain growth, you know.
Yeah. Very, but it's like you said, it's beginning to make sense. So, because that's been tough for me. I'm not saying that I don't believe they're balloon rocks. I mean, I totally believe it, but why? How? Yes. And we're getting into that, you know, the science of meltology.
That's right.
So, and there's a photo later in the set of me standing next to this for scale. But this is a very large boulder that the natives put bricks all around.
And yes, and I commented on your video that they have added this support beam. You can see that they have taken away the some bricks to have this thing there, because I don't think this thing there should be there in the first place.
No, that's a good point. I wonder how the weight is affected when something balloons. Anyway, just
I think, it's probably the same thing because it came from the same place, but probably the way, I don't know about the weight. That's a good question. Is it the same, or it's weight more that it was before? I don't know.
Because maybe just the density changes.
Yes,
But
everything changes as we saw yesterday, but
Yeah.
probably the density remains, or I don't know. Probably, yeah, it should weight more, But
figuring it out as we go.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Here we go. Here's some cross-bedded sandstone for you. Look at that.
That, wow.
Yes, this one is really nice.
And I just love these little surviving bricks down here at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, like why would they put that under there?
Support.
That's right. They were
Yeah.
supporting the large rock that they put the other bricks on top of. There you go. Yeah, there's a lot
What-
happening here too.
Look
What
at
is
that.
the big block? Yes,
Look at that big block down there.
Yeah.
That it's real smooth and stuff. Look at
where,
that.
do-
Yeah,
where does it come from? Is it?
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. Was that later with the modern construction? I don't know, but it is
Yeah,
odd.
Probably, or someone just came and just left it there just to make people think about something, just like they do with everything.
Yeah.
Just like the the wheel in 9/11, just somebody just
Oh, yeah.
dropped it in the street, It's just
Props. Props.
it was a prop.
Yeah.
Look at the little bit of brick there on the very left-hand corner.
Right,
Oh, just
right here.
right there. Look, who got under there and put that there? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. It's just more support bricks.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So
Somebody's finding nice square rectangular blocks everywhere to build with.
and this place is just off the hook. So all right, let's see, moving on because I have so much to share. Now this was interesting. Apparently these little arrows are where different types of mortar are being tested on this structure to see what holds up best in the harsh Arizona environmental conditions. So yeah, that's what the arrows are for. That's what they told me. So every arrow pointing to some different type of mortar being experimented with on this structure. Is that really what's going on? I don't know.
Huh. That's
Interesting.
weird.
Yeah.
It looks like something that's maybe embedded in these bricks, like some kind of tech or something.
Yeah. Caught my attention too. I'm not so sure that's what's actually going on here, but I don't know. I could be totally wrong.
Yeah, it could be an overlay narrative. It could be something that's part of this building. I don't know.
Oh, let me hide this. There we are. And this is great down here. We have more of the cross-bedded sandstone. And you can see there's like part of a brick right there.
Oh, yeah.
And then you can see the same. So here's obviously a brick, but you can see the same lines in it there that are occurring here.
Absolutely.
Geez. Okay.
Those things look like they're even copper looking.
These little tabs.
Yeah. They have a copper look to them. I don't know, like a penny, I don't know what these things are.
Yeah, it looks like they just glued something on top of it.
Yeah, something.
Yeah. And there's more of that same sort of cross-bedding pattern that's occurring right here in this brick. That same texturing that we see there on what is obviously a brick, we see here to a greater degree. Yeah, anyway, it's all melted.
So melted, that's for sure.
All melted. All right, let's see here. Now, there's Jasmine.
Oh, Jasmine, look how cute.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, all right. And here's a great shot of all kinds of mangling and catastrophe. So, look at that. Here's some. Oh, I'm sorry, Shapu, go ahead.
No, I was just wondering how you get into this building because there's a big rock right there,
Yeah.
Where do you put your chair?
Yeah. No, I mean, the narrative is just that they built this around that stuff. And
If you can build like this, you would just build out on the flat part or something, you know?
yeah, why make your life so hard? Just go build something without all the big rocks around.
Yeah, there's all kinds of space out there.
Yeah. And then this is interesting. And Shabu, I think you've shared some photos of this at one point.
Yes, the black rocks, and they're the same. They are the same ones that looks just like bricks, and these ones are really cooked.
Mm-hmm. And there's okay, so you know how you have a rain gutter, and then you have that sort of concrete splashdown part, so it doesn't erode into the ground.
Yes.
There are a lot of fragments, blackened fragments out there like this.
With their yes.
And I don't know what they are. I mean, obviously it's melted, but I don't know.
But I think they were probably part of the wall. They were sticking out just to drain again the drainage of the wall.
Okay.
For the moisture to drain, just like in an old castle, you can see the same thing of these type of kind of bricks that's sticking out of walls just for drainage.
Okay, got you. Yeah. Anyway, so much happening here just in one photo. Oh my gosh. Oh, here we go. Little close up of those fragments. So
yeah, they are really cooked.
Yeah, super cooked. Oh, here we are. Lots of this reminds me. Have you guys seen that waffle cone rock? I don't know where it is.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yes.
Kind of reminds me of the waffle cone rock. Not quite the same pattern, but there are some similarities.
Yeah. If this was underwater, they would say it was like coral rock or something.
Yeah.
And look at that piece next to it there. Look at that.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's crazy right there.
Yeah. It just okay. Let me see. Let me zoom in on that. Okay. And moving on. And you can see like another part of it down here, like it fell on another piece, and same thing right here. There's another piece of the structure right there. And of course, brick fragments littered all over the ground.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Yeah, because this structure probably was really high, and these are pieces from the top part that fell down.
Mm-hmm.
That's what
yeah, you're definitely right on that, Shapu. I have some photos to illustrate what you're saying there, because there's a part of the building that's collapsed on one side. Yeah, look at this, guys. Look at those support bricks down there holding up this boulder. So, just jeepers
for real. Look at that. You can even see brick underneath, all the way underneath even.
Yeah, can you zoom in under the big rock? And this
there you go.
Yeah.
Definitely some brick action down there, and a little piece of a brick there.
Yeah, these ones are really squished.
Yeah, we have that cross bedding in the sandstone right there, and and then it's interesting. This was very curious to me, how we have just this small area with that cross bedding.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, you know what I think that is, on my personal opinion, is when I talk about heat striations, the heat striations tend to go vertical. I think that's the start of heat striations. If there was more of them around, they probably would say they carved it.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, this is just the science of what's happening here, and all the different factors and things at play. What a fascinating event.
It could have been like an aperture that's been filled up by the melt or someone else later, but it looks like it's the same color as the thing that's melting on the side here.
That's really curious. too, because of all of the arches that you see and these like canyon walls, but they're filled in. And you could tell it was like a doorway or a window, something like that. So,
Yeah, they fill in.
And then just, geez, look at this. Look at these bricks up here next to these. See this line of bricks on the top, and as it transitions into the total fused wall down here.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, this is good stuff.
Yeah.
Really good.
And down here, super cooked out brick.
Yes.
It's interesting how this section of the formation fractured right there. I was trying to figure out, how did that happen? Does it have to do with how it cooled down or how it settled after it was cooled? I don't know, but interesting things to consider.
Absolutely. It could have been something like that. Yeah.
And let's see, moving on, another picture of the same area. But yeah, this up top was so curious to me. Very, very cool. Okay.
Yeah, that could have been like a tower or something.
Yeah. And okay. So these are called triops, and these were in the ball court. You know how there's the ball court at the monument. So the monsoon, there was a huge puddle from the monsoon rains, and these they look like little trilobites or horseshoe crabs, and related apparently. But these were just swimming around, absolutely fascinating, fun little creatures to play with. I have a video of playing with one.
Oh wow!
And the thing that Steffi shared, it talks about this place in particular that has these creatures. And there's not so many places that still have these ancient creatures, they say.
Yeah, interesting place for them.
Yes.
But it was fun. I have a video of playing with one in my hand. So, okay. Super cooked brick there. And this was interesting. I was wondering if this brick that turned sideways somehow got churned in the mortar melt.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Another tryout photo. Such cool little guys. Jasmine was having fun with them too. So
how big are they?
Maybe 2 inches long from head to the end of the tail. Wow. 3 maybe. Yeah. And there were also a lot of tadpoles, very large tadpoles, swimming around in this pond. So much happening there. It was really cool. So
they're swimming in the melt.
And so here's that same part of the fragmented structure from the last photo. And on this side, you can see the bubbling. I thought that was interesting. So we have the just melted to shit. So
that's great stuff. Wow. Absolutely. You can see the transition. You can see that was brick right there.
Yeah, definitely. Very absolutely clearly brick right here. So let's see. All right, moving on. Oh, here's a close-up of that one spot.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what this reminds me of? The Dolomites, in those mountain ranges where you have like that 45-degree angle.
Oh, yeah.
Reminds me of that.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's what's occurring just on a smaller scale here.
Probably.
Yeah, I agree. It looks like you can see a mortar line there. Oh, look at this thing. Okay, so yeah, right there on the bottom part of this churned out brick, you can see a white mortar line there. See it? Yeah, right there. Yep.
Yes, there's one that's been squished out too.
Oh, and there's one right there.
Yeah.
And right there.
Yes.
Oh, baby.
Yeah. And here's one.
Oh my God, that thing is crazy looking.
Cool.
Yeah.
They're so cute.
I don't know if I would hold it in my hand, but yeah, it's crazy looking. It looks like something from like Aliens.
Yeah, I love their little googly eyes. So, all right, let's see.
It does look like a little horseshoe crab.
Yeah, that's what I thought at first too. But the tail is different.
Yeah.
Here we go. So we got some balloon bricks in there. We have some waffle rocking right here, and super cooked right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a lot happening all in one spot.
So archaeologists would just have you believe that they just stuck these random big rocks in their build. But
Yeah.
scientifically, we shown last night with Shapu's research that this is what we call grain growth.
Yeah, there's multiple like effects, like polymorphs, disappearing polymorphs, and grain growth and sintering. It's all related.
And all those links are in the description below this live stream, guys. If you want to look at it on your own, you can check it out, and also check out our last live stream, Incredible Evidence Mountains Were Buildings.
Yeah, those diagrams you were showing of like the cities inside that, how much more obvious can it get?
Yes.
So just, and here we have an interesting angle, maybe heat striations again, or brick, super interesting. So let's see, moving on, another angle on the googly eyes here.
So the head is down where the tentacles are, or the head was where the eyes are? These eyes. Which is the head part?
The head is up here.
Okay.
By the googly eyes. And
okay, gotcha. Because I thought the other end with those tentacles, maybe that was the head of like a snail thing looking, and it goes back into this thing. But I guess that's the head over there. It's just so creepy looking.
Isn't it though? Yeah, yeah, you're right. It makes me think of Alien, like when that creature popped out of Bishop's mouth. So
right.
I mean, his stomach.
Something. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here. Oh, and another view, and it looks like it's got 3 eyes. I don't know exactly.
What is that? Maybe it's his nose. So creepy looking.
And
does it bite? Patty wants to know if it bites or anything. Does it crawl around?
I didn't get bit. So, and I have a video later on. So let's see here. Just more transition wall stuff. Interesting, you know, the different angles these bricks are sitting at in the churn, you know, right there.
Yeah.
And let's see. Okay. Same stuff. Just going to go through it.
Yes.
So some balloon rocking, more balloon rocking. Aha! This is cool.
Look at this.
Again, yes.
Yeah. Let's build around this giant boulder. That won't be difficult.
This giant boulder that is not even sitting on the ground. Okay. It's levitating.
Let's build around this levitating boulder.
Nobody got under there to support that thing, did they?
Oh my gosh. It just gets more and more ridiculous the more you look at it.
Yeah. Well, we need bricks on top, but don't worry about underneath. It'll be fine.
Oh man. So yeah, anyway. Okay. I'm just going to move on kind of quickly so we can get to Walnut Canyon and the, like 5 other places I went to if we've got time.
Yeah.
There's a lot happening here.
Yeah.
So, and you can see some support bricks under the levitating brick.
And that boulder you just pointed at up there in the background, that cross bedding's happening there too. You can see it. Yeah.
Right here?
No, on the other. Yeah, up there.
Yeah.
Yes.
It looks like it's starting to go like 45-degree angle a little bit.
Yeah. That's interesting because you see that 45-degree angle, you know, from the, you know, on a small scale like here, you know, to the mountain ranges. And I've always wondered what's going on because I think there's a common denominator amongst all of it. So here we are. Lots of transition happening here. So. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, how do they explain sedimentary layers when it's going, it's all level, and then all of a sudden all their sedimentary layers go 45-degree angle, and then they start going level again?
Yeah. It's just people don't ask questions.
It probably has something to do with the curvature of the earth.
That's to do with our tilt. Yes.
It's the Coriolis effect. That's what it is.
Yes, that's what it is.
Nothing to see here. Move on.
Yeah, don't ask questions. So yeah. Anyway, this is huge, guys. So same stuff. Support bricks.
Yeah.
So, oh, cool spider web I saw. This
Yeah,
is a bit of a closer view of the top of that. I thought that was
Look at
interesting.
how melted that is right there across that thick piece.
Yeah, that top layer, super
Yeah, look
melty.
at that. It almost looks like it had an exterior molding over it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah,
Like you see at Petra.
yeah, like a concrete over the brick sort of thing happening.
Yeah.
Or
Some remains of it on there. Like, remember we were talking about that coating, Shapu? That like 1 inch thick coating?
yes.
And this is a video, but I have no point playing it. But yeah, see these little bricks hiding out under this. So, all right.
And again, these ones.
This is interesting. You have that curve happening in the wall right there.
It's the melt wave.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that wave.
Like the wave in Arizona.
I haven't been there, but I am gonna go.
You need a permit.
Like, who's going to build their wall like that? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't
They
make
can
any
build all
sense.
this nice structure all around it. Why would you fuck up that wall?
Yeah, with a wall that's not even touching ground again, you know. So,
No, this is just bam. That's all I can say. Bam. So,
Is
and
that a window? It's a window.
it's interesting, a curious little aperture, and it looks like some bricks down here, and maybe the top of the aperture was melting shut here. I don't know. Pretty interesting though.
Yes.
if you go back one picture, you know,
Yes.
they say that
This
it's
one? Oh,
no, just the one with the rock that's floating. Yeah, this one. You know, if this is a rock, it's supposed to be down into the ground to attach to a rock. You know, the big rock there, the big one. But there's a gap between the
like right here is the gap you're talking about.
no, just below the ground.
Oh, right here.
We'll
Okay.
go back. Yeah, just down there. The big one. They say no, not this one, but the total, like the big wall.
Yeah, keep moving over to the left.
Oh,
There you
yeah.
go.
You can
Bottom
see
piece
that.
of that. Yeah.
If they say this is a rock, it's supposed to go into the ground and connected to a bigger rock, you know, because rocks, if you go with geologists, it's supposed to form from the ground up, you know, but it doesn't touch anything, you know. There's a gap there, there's a gap there, you know. They're supposed to question this, but no one does.
That's a great observation. I didn't notice that. Yeah, there's a giant gap between the ground
Yes.
and then we have support bricks here. So
Yeah.
yeah, no. If they were building around a rock, why
Yeah.
is there a gap?
Yeah, exactly.
And then the same cross bedding here. That close up of that aperture,
Yes.
really
Oh,
interesting.
look inside there. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, a drone aerial photo of the area. So very cool.
Look at all that. Look at all of that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And this is the visitor center is over here. And this is the front of the structure where there was that melting rock curtain, just to kind of orient you.
Mhm.
And the area that we were just looking at in the last photograph is back around here. And this is that's not the ball court. That's a different area. There are two ball courts. The other ball court with the triops is over here somewhere.
Okay.
And this area right here is all melted and collapsed structure as well.
Yeah, you can see that it continues down if you go towards the bottom of your picture, where there's the continuing. Yeah, right on the right side. If you go right here, right there, you can see that this wall is continuing into this, yeah, right there, and continue on the top part you were just showing.
Yeah. And there were several other structures all on the hillside surrounding this. So
This is amazing. I love the aerial footage stuff.
the aerial stuff out at the lava fields north of Flagstaff, that's freaking mind-blowing.
Nice.
I don't know if we'll have time to get to it tonight. We might have to do a Melted Arizona Part 3.
Hey, if that's what we have to do, that's what we have to do.
I'm having so much fun going out and finding this stuff. So. And when you do Nevada, I'll head out to Nevada too. So and New Mexico.
Yes.
So.
That could be like next year sometime by the time we get to Nevada.
Yeah, I've got time to plan that. But moving on. Let's see here. Moving on. Aha! Here's the ball court. This is where the tryouts were at.
Yeah, I'm looking at the hill behind you.
Let's see the hill. Oh, this giant melted structure.
Yeah, there was something there for sure. Yeah.
And you can see like up here on the right-hand side, definitely remnants of structure here. And then all through here, this whole thing is structure.
Yeah. It's like the terracing effect.
Yes.
All right, let's see here. Same wall photo. Let me escape. All right, let's see here.
So you went to these cavettes. Is that what those pictures are right there?
Oh, this is in Superior. This is in Superior, Arizona, an hour from here. This is Picket Post Mountain. And this is a huge area to explore. And as you're driving into Superior and you're on this beautiful winding highway and you come around this corner and all of a sudden this giant melted castle comes into view. And this is one small pocket of this massive structure. And it looks like there was some mining done because you do see some dynamite blast points. But overall, I think that most of what we are looking at here is melted structure. And,
dynamiting for mining or destroying like evidence.
Yeah. Jasmine's such a good girl. So, yeah.
She's a little meltologist.
Yeah. She's my little Meltology mascot.
Oh.
So, yeah. But I have tons of pictures from Picket Post Mountain. I'll have to save that for another time. That's 3 hours right there by itself. So, okay, moving along quickly here. There is something very interesting, and I would love to know what you guys think about this technology. So I'm going to play the video.
Okay.
This is super interesting. Blowhole.
All right, wrong video. Where's my video? Here it is. Okay.
Hey guys, still at Wapataki National Monument.
Can you guys hear the video?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Here in Flagstaff. This is really interesting. The blowhole. This blowhole, a crevice in the Earth's crust that appears to breathe, is one of several found in the Wapataki area. It connects to an underground passage, size, depth, and complexity unknown, called an earth crack. Earth cracks resulted from earthquake activity and the Kaibab limestone bedrock and have enlarged over time. Archaeologists have yet to uncover any evidence of prehistoric structures or uses at the blowhole. Its connection to the Wapataki Pueblo remains a mystery. Today, the Hopi, descendants of these early people, refer to the blowhole as the breath of, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, the wind spirit. They and other American Indians attach spiritual significance to these features. So here we go.
Periodically, water blows out of this blowhole from a reservoir below.
I don't know, but after I read this, I actually walk over to the blowhole, and you can feel this rushing air coming out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's probably like a water channel under the ground that creates this air. And it was hot. It was hot air.
No, it was very cool.
Okay, yeah, that's it was just underground river, I guess, running all over this place. Probably the the pipe, not the piping, but all the water that supplied the massive structure that was there before.
And that's what I was wondering. I'm wondering if we're looking at remnants of the plumbing system or of a ventilation system for some sort of massive underground structure. And if what we're seeing here is just like the top of a much larger structure.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Something like that. And we saw those cross sections, Shapu, with rivers and waterfalls in them.
Yes, that's what I thought when she showed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then in the crack systems, air is blown out. And when the outside air pressure rises, air is driven into the blowhole. So check this out. Spooky. Yeah, you can definitely feel the movement of air here.
You hear
Feels
it?
like a fan on medium, like a tabletop fan.
I can kind of hear it.
But
Really
So they
interesting.
sealed this thing up and they put all this around it so you can't see down into it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they made it safe for tourism or whatever.
yeah.
But I think we're looking at, like you were saying, Shapu, like the remains of a plumbing system or ventilation system or something. And okay, so I got to show this one picture of me. I think that's the brick you were talking about, right? The surviving brick.
No, it was bigger and square and like a more rectangular, squarish. Yeah, but this one's pretty neat.
I was super happy. And here's me next to that large rock scale.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And here is a quick clip of the triops, and then I'll move on to Walnut Canyon.
Okay, great. Let me see this. Oh, look at this creepy little thing. I wouldn't have touched it. You're braver than I am. Wow. My husband said it's a tadpole.
No, there were tadpoles out there as well, but nope, that's a triops.
It's a triops. Sorry, I didn't mean to yell. He's watching. So I don't even know why I just yelled it.
Yeah, if you guys, if we have time, I don't know if you guys want to share some of your own stuff, or if we have time, I'd love to share the Walnut Canyon stuff.
Yes, go. It's all you.
Yeah, girl, it's all you.
All right,
Let's chime in on the back end of things and show some stuff, but we're going to focus on your stuff right now.
Okay, I'm going to start the Walnut Canyon pictures with what I found in the gift store at Walnut Canyon. I thought this was great. So, yeah, I flipped through it. It's depressing. Yeah.
Oh God, volcanoes.
We need to do a show just on that. And I was out at this volcanic crater with this massive lava flow, and there were bricks intermixed with the lava flow, and so much to talk about there. So moving on quickly. All right. So this is Walnut Canyon. We can see some cross bedding there in the canyon wall. And I'm just gonna move right along because I have a ton of photos.
Yeah,
So,
this place is crazy.
Yeah, look at this.
And the pictures don't do the size of this place scale. This place was massive. So moving along, it looks to me like we have some arches in here.
Hi, Dana. Sorry.
So beautiful brick lines I don't know.
Apertures there. Look at that.
It gets better.
Look at the terracing here. Go back to that one last picture. I'm sorry. Look, you can see the levels going all the way up.
And all throughout these levels, there are pockets of survival, like
Just
in the middle of nothing. Hundreds.
Just like that canyon we showed, Shapu. Where was it? In Jordan or something? Or
In
the monastery.
Jerusalem. Yeah, Jerusalem in Marsaba.
Yes, it's just like this.
And these pockets of survival are just hundreds and hundreds of feet above ground in this perilous, treacherous canyon. It's like, how did they get up there with bricks? Without cranes and I just the narrative is so bad on this, just like the World's Fair narratives. They're so bad.
Oh yeah, don't even get me started on the World's Fair narratives.
Yeah, that's another huge.
Me and Shapu tore that all up a while ago, didn't we?
Yes.
No, I'm really into the whole World's Fair thing, but I'll save that for another time. So yeah, moving along. Here we go. Here's some narrative for you that's presented right as you hit the trail. So, all right. So what we are looking at here is an eroded limestone cave. Yeah. Yep, there you go. That's eroded limestone for you. Not. Okay. Yeah, this gets crazy, guys.
Oh my God, look, just look at it. I mean, if we could just take away the trees, it would be even better. But man, you can see it. You can see apertures everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I see arches, doorways, fucking everything.
Yeah, columns.
Now this, I zoomed in. Okay, so this photo, oops. All right, so I took this photo from the next photo I took from standing right here on a super zoom. This was in the middle of the freaking cliffside, just in the middle of nothing. So,
wow, girl, this is good.
Yeah. And then you have that black sort of, we've discussed like roofing tar, or I don't know what it is, but this black streaking is all over Walnut Canyon.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, just nuts.
Really, really good.
And this again, the scale, I mean, the depth, the height of this canyon, it's humongous. And I was trying to figure out, we have this area of cross bedding, which we know are brick lines. And this was only apparent though at the bottom of the canyon. And I wonder if it has to do, because we find this cross bedding all over the place. But in this particular location, I wonder if it had to do with the weight of the structure above it, perhaps contributed to the formation of the, I'm just going to call it cross bedding, even though we know it's not. But I wonder if the weight of the structure above it contributed to the cross bedding occurring in this particular location.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been like, when you put, let me explain, like if you put ice cream in an ice cream cone, but it's not the hard ice cream. It's the soft ice cream. You fill up the cone and you kind of go back and forth with it. Mm-hmm. What if when this was melting, it was melting down and kind of shifting back and forth?
Yes.
I could be wrong.
Oh.
No, that is great, Jen.
I never thought of that. That makes a lot of sense. Like the weight.
Pancaking straight down. It's shifting as it's melting. Maybe. I could, I don't know.
Yeah, because probably during this X Factor, they were probably at earthquakes too. So it had to shake the earth,
Uh-huh.
That makes a lot of sense, because as the structure is melting down, the weight is going to change and it's going to settle, throughout the stages of meltdown.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Things that did not solidify mid-melt, when we see things that have solidified mid-melt, it's in the process of melting. You see the drip and then it's just stopped mid-air and stuff. But some areas may have been able to settle in that heat melt, without just solidifying so quickly. Maybe this is a result of not solidifying so quickly, where it has time to settle and shift, you know what I mean? And then solidify.
Yeah, no, that's great. I mean, totally be the case. Yeah. Yeah. I got to think about that. That makes a heck of a lot of sense. Yeah, we've got apertures here, and then we have a lot of the red brick coloration still present in this cliffside. Like right there, there's a great red patch, and here's a great red patch.
I see
And
it. Yeah.
yeah, and in these in this cross bedding, you know, we see what looks like maybe a super squished aperture right there is kind of what I envision. I don't know, just brainstorming. So okay, moving on.
Look
This,
at this.
of course, is more modern, stacked up, but probably with melted stuff. But the reason I took this photo was for this.
Yes,
Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow. And you can see it fell over.
Mm-hmm. And in a lot of moving on, but you can clearly see some bricks in some of this stuff. But you have the red coloration right there, really caught my attention. So another shot. You can see the bubbling in here.
Yeah, the blocks.
And
Fine.
you can really see a block right here, a brick. There you go. Look at that. This is, hiking down into it. Clear red brick coloration there. Super fried.
Looks like a rock curtain over something else.
Yeah.
You can see like the gap between the layers.
Super, super fried. Here we go. Clear blocks. Red coloration still present.
Nice.
Yeah. If I'm going too fast, let me know. I just have so much here.
Oh, girl, you're doing good.
Oh, good.
But a giant chunk of structure fell off, collapsed. So, little bricky hiding out down there. Look at that. Hello, Rick.
Yes.
I see you.
Oh, yeah. Look at that brick sticking out right there.
And
Wow.
some squished bricks right here in the middle.
Yep.
What's that red part? That red rounded, is that a pipe or something? Right in the middle? Oh, no. Okay, that's just bushes. No, it's okay. I've seen it.
Okay. And, let me zoom. All right. And let's go on to... Oh, come on, iCloud. What's going on? Hold on. iCloud froze for a second. All right. There we are. Okay. Just on the trail, walking down. Here we are. Here's another pocket of survival from way across the canyon on a zoom.
Look at this. Look, you can see the brick all the way up. I mean,
if you follow the line, you can clearly go into the sidewall, and it's the same.
Yep.
Perfectly. Yeah.
All the way across.
And what blows my mind is that here people are like, yeah, there are some bricks that the Pueblo placed there, but here are some sedimentary layers.
Exactly. Exactly, Crystal.
There's just such a disconnect.
Perfect blocks. Perfect. I mean, equal in size pretty much, following the same line. And what they come up with is the simplest lie that they could give our simple little fucking minds. Sedimentary layers that take millions of years to form. Boom, baby.
And then there are some bricks underneath it, almost the same size and shape. So, okay. And so sedimentary layers up here, bricks down there. Alrighty then. So, all right, guys. Now, I'm not sure if you can tell on the video, but there are pockets of survival all throughout this cliffside. And this is,
my God.
Look at this. I have some closer photos of this, but look at this giant chunk of structure that just fell off and collapsed.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yes.
Are you able to walk around on these edges? Can you get over there? Like, are you able to follow it around?
I am not all of it is accessible, but in the next few photos, there is an area where you actually get to walk through these pockets of survival.
Oh,
And
nice.
I have close up of the bricks.
Nice.
Yeah. And I don't know if you can see it on here. It's very faint, but right here, there are some bricks that the Pueblo put there in the side of a cliff. So,
But follow that along over to the other side, going to the right there, underneath that little cliff, right where you're at, right there. There's more brick under there.
Yep.
There's more wall.
Yeah. Yeah. And then
The whole thing is brick.
The whole damn cliffside is structure.
Yep. The mountain is the building, guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
You probably find some melted steps up in there somewhere.
And this is the stuff they let us see. Just imagine what else is out there.
Yeah. They don't even let you see most of the Grand Canyon. You're only in a quarter of the Grand Canyon that you get to see.
Yeah. And here's a little overhang. I thought that was really interesting. And
that's crazy looking.
Yeah. Now we're going to start getting into, here we are. We're starting to get into the pockets of survival. So moving on.
And that place is cooked out.
Yeah. Sorry, there's a lot of extra photos in here that I would have deleted, but I just didn't have time to go through all these.
No problem.
So here's a nice square aperture and this eroded limestone cliff face with some brick.
It started to rock curtain over itself because you could see the bricks underneath of it, especially on the left-hand side of those black striations on the very left. And then it curtains over everything, even that aperture, and runs down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You could probably chip right away at that. It's probably not very thick at all.
Hey, what's up? I'm in the stream. What's up? Sorry, guys. 1 second. What's up?
You're good.
Yeah, you can see Jen like.
Hold on 1 second, guys. I just got to grab a box.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see like in the aperture, there's like one, what you call like a melt, but what they call like a stalagmite just running down. You can see like the opening right there. Yes.
Yep, right there. Yeah, it's just dripping and melting down right here. And it's solidified. In the melting process, you can see how it solidified.
Yep.
So,
and that solidification is where we find all of our evidence, because you could just see how it's in the melt process. Like you're saying, it's mid-melt and it just stopped.
Yeah. And I've often wondered if, what cooled this down. And anyway, guys, I'm sorry. Hold on. Do you need help here? Did you get it?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Goodbye. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. All right. Let's see here. Great picture. Great aperture. Moving on. Haha. Now we're getting into the pockets of survival.
Oh,
Look
wow.
at that, guys. Holy cow.
Look at this.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at those super cooked bricks right there.
Oh, yeah.
And I really looked at this with an open mind. Like, okay, could obviously the cliffside is melted, but I really thought about it. How could they have got these bricks up here? And it just doesn't make any sense. So, and look at all the bubbling here, and you can still very clearly see the red brick coloration right here.
Those almost look like melted steps there.
I think
inside that.
so.
Yeah, I don't know if there's
No,
steps
inside. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
This was a massive building for sure.
Yeah. Like, yeah. No, mountains. It took me so long to get to this point, but I really think, mountains were the buildings.
Exactly.
It's just so big.
Did you see what we showed last night with those cross sections?
Oh yeah.
That's just wow.
But you know the stories about all these mounds that they were like tombs, they say, because they have chambers. Now you know why, because they were buildings.
Let's see
exactly. Here. Like the Myra tombs, it's in Greece, right? Shapu, Myra?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That looks like a fucking high-rise apartment building to me. It doesn't look like tombs.
But this is great. For each room tucked into this rock alcove, nature provided the back wall, floor, and leak-proof ceiling.
Oh, imagine that.
How convenient. No excavation was needed. Builders simply laid up unshaped blocks of limestone for side walls, enclosed the front, and opened their doorway to the canyon.
Yeah.
Here, only 2 walls remain. Like,
Wow.
come on, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's it. That's the narrative. And it's not very extensive. They give you a nice little plaque as you're walking up, and then you perceive it the way they want you to see it, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know, some time ago I've seen like a story about a guy and his son going around these canyons and put it up some bricks, a wall like that. You know, I don't know who paid them to do it, but they just go and make some of these, you know, around places.
And then they stick the narrative on it?
Probably, because it looks like that, but it's not, as you can see, like here is there's spot that are melted together, but what they did, it's just stone and mortar, you know. But they say now it looks like something like that, but if you go in the story, I think they did it like in the 80s. You know, I can't remember the place.
I'll have to check that out. Look at that back wall, how it's stripping down.
Yes.
Like it's almost rock curtaining down the rest of the wall there, above the graffiti.
But guys, just look at this melt. Look how, geez.
Yeah, that's rock curtain.
Yeah, this rock curtain, and then just this particular area survived, which is so fascinating.
Yeah.
Right. And even if they added that in later for tourism or whatever, that back wall there, that back wall, that looks definitely original for sure. And what's going underneath on the far left, following the wall down, the path there, those look original for sure. You know, they have messed with a lot of sites. Chaput has shown before and after sites of them, how it originally looked and how after they refurbished it.
Yes.
Or came in and did rebuilt, took things down and rebuilt other things, and
they still do it today. We can see like scaffolds everywhere around these castles. They try to remodel, and it's that the same thing. Yes,
remodel and rewrite his story anytime they want.
Yes,
but I think you're really on the money there, because I think what we're looking at here is a mix of restoration and modern construction. And also there are some walls that are melted brick walls intermixed with more modern brick walls.
Yeah, because you got to muddy the story a little. You know what I mean? You have to think on their diabolical level. You have to understand that you're lied to, but you have to understand the lie and why you've been lied to. To understand the truth of the matter of what we're saying, you have to first understand the lie, the narrative.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, that's the starting point. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I was trying to figure out, okay, which of these walls were melted and which are new. And what do you guys think here? What do you think we're looking at? Original melted brick wall or melted bricks and a modern wall?
I mean, I think I'd have to see a little bit more of it. Yeah. It looks original to me.
Yeah.
But I'd have to see the rest of what it's leading into and coming off of. So this is it here?
Yeah. This is it.
Yes.
This looks
like more original to me.
Yeah.
What do you think, Chaput? Look at that melt.
Yeah, the bottom part for sure. The back part for sure. The top part could have been. But
that back wall there is definitely, look at the melt coming over it and how muffed up it is. Yeah,
yes.
Right there.
Yes.
But this reminds me of the wall that we just saw at the Wapatki Monument, how we had that one solidified brick wall, and then just to the right of it, the adjoining wall was still very clearly brick. And it seems like that's going on a lot here, because you have this like super melt right here, and then you have like a surviving wall. And then maybe this. Oh, go ahead.
In Pompeii, if you don't mind me interjecting this, in Pompeii, if you look at the streets of Pompeii and the houses, in one wall, you can see 3 different levels of heat damage. In one wall, like one wall will be one big solid chunk, and then it'll look like big blocks, and then it'll go into perfect brick, but it's all the same wall, and it's attached to all the other walls that are still relatively holding their integrity. So it's interesting, but it does happen. It happens a lot.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Moving on. Let's see. Just red brick coloration caught my attention.
Nice.
Here we are. We have a super cooked brick here. These are obviously melted bricks. Is this wall new? Was this wall made of melted bricks? New construction? I'm not too sure. Trying to figure this out. So
yeah, you gotta look at the transition between the rock and the stones. Yeah, if you see like it's hard to see right now, but
see, like this back here looks like a melted wall right here.
Yes, for sure.
This I'm not so sure, but then you do get these crazy pockets of survival that just butt right up against something super melted. So I don't know.
But they could have been going there after like this event. The survivors could have used this for shelter for sure. But if it happens during the melt, it's unknown right now.
But no doubt the Pueblo inhabited these structures, but and possibly even built some stuff with the materials laying around.
Yes.
But no, we are looking at a much older structure here, much older than the natives.
Yes. Because there's no sign of, and they say they had like some kind of stucco on top of these walls, and there's no sign of it remaining, and not even on the ground, and it's could have been melted.
These are really, really good pictures, though, for sure.
Am I going too fast here, or am I good?
Okay. It's good.
And then, back here, once again, you can still see the red coloration. You can see the block lines. This is like super scorched right here. Rock curtain coming down.
Yeah, I'm questioning petroglyphs. We were talking about petroglyphs recently. I think that they are like just conveniently placed out here in these locations, and it's convenient that people find them, and now people go out and seek them out because they know the locations because they've been pinpointed and stuff, but they add credibility to their narrative of an ancient people.
Yep.
Yes.
Communicating with each other in rudimentary ways, not an advanced civilization that had some major catastrophe. Look at this.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Yeah, I went to the Valley of Fire State Park in Nevada, and that is just a mind-blowing place for evidence.
Yes.
And petroglyphs all over the place out there. And it's kind of odd.
They're all the same. It's like the same person drew them all.
Yeah, and they're so basic. Just like stick figures. Not to be insulting. I so don't mean to be insulting. I'm sure there are some real petroglyphs. But a lot of the stuff that you find, just, I don't know about it.
Some of them look like modern cartoon looking things.
Yeah.
Like something from the Jetsons or something. Oh my God. And then they're like, oh, well, there were space creatures or interdimensional demons, and that's what they were showing here. I don't know. Because if you go by that narrative, then it'll take you back to the historical narrative that they dwelled in these places and made these places and all this stuff, and then their historical narrative that they were just hunter-gatherers and stuff. So it's narrative after narrative after narrative. It all connects to each other to keep their lie afloat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's always the same kind of drawings, like a stick figure man, a cow, or a world. Not what is it called? Like
A spiral.
a spiral.
Yeah.
Yes.
Always.
Oh yeah, you see the spirals all over the world.
No, it's like this web of lies, and if you touch any part of the web, the entire web's affected,
Exactly.
Making sense. And so you start to connect everything.
Like when I let go of the globe, okay, when I let go of that lie, I did not realize that it was connected to geology and volcanism. I did not realize that when I touched the web on that, that at some point it was going to, reverberate through that web of lies and lead me over to that. And, because so many things are tied to the globe narrative and the globe model. That we consider to be, like, okay, there's a lot of flat earthers out there, but they still believe in volcanism and volcanoes and stuff, or so many other different things.
Yes, what you just said is very interesting because it was kind of the reverse order for me. It was Meltology that got me into examining the globe model.
Nice.
Yeah, when I got into Meltology and realized, so many geologic processes that we've been taught are just fakery. And, it takes the globe model to support the fact that these geologic processes take place. That's when I started to examine the possibility that maybe we don't live on a globe. So yeah, it's interesting because the truth, it's like the web of lies, and it's like, there's this alternate dimension, the web of truth.
Crystal, you're the first person to ever tell me that they came to the flat earth through Meltology. That is amazing. I love that. I totally love it.
No, but you touch any part of the web of truth and it's all connected, it's just like we all kind of get there in our own weird way.
Yeah, but we all converge on the same path of truth eventually. We all get there. And that's where we're at now. And there's a lot of people who are trying to stray us from this particular path of truth. And, you got to question a lot of these people's motives, especially if they're flat earthers. How can they cannot connect to this, that see that it's all connected, that you got to let go of the geological narrative. You got to let go of volcanism. You got to let go of this fucking pseudoscience that they're pushing on us as real science.
Yeah. No, I don't know if we're going to have time tonight, maybe, but the stuff I saw with that lava flow, oh my gosh.
Yes, I want to see that what is it, Apache Dead Canyon?
I can do that next. I'll do the Apache Death Cave. So
yeah, we got time. Don't stress it. I definitely have at least another hour and a half, and we're at 2 hour mark right now.
Oh, cool beans. All right. So I'll play part of this video so you can kind of get the scale. And then,
hello from Walnut Canyon. Pockets of survival everywhere. And here is one. Just amazing. We still see the red brick color here in the rocks. There's your narrative. Look at this.
So, Crystal, how high up are you right now, like up the canyon?
Oh, kind of toward the top.
Okay.
And yeah, kind of toward the top here, and in the cliff face.
Baked bricks.
But I can fast.
Oh,
here we are.
Here's another pocket over here.
You could see it goes all the way around. Look at that.
Yeah, you can kind of get the scale here. How huge this place is.
A while to have this area to myself. Good books were already coming.
This is exactly how those cavettes near that river that we were showing on the first show are just like that in the ridgeline. But these ones are squared off. Those ones were rounded, kind of like the coke ovens.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this rock curtain. Wow.
Easy melt. Oh boy. All right, let's keep going.
There's a rock curtain just like this on the steps of Aragon in France. As they're going up the steps, they're going up under this curved rock curtain like we see here, just like this.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, and they were built in one day, Jen. It's just
the narrative on the steps of Aragon, King Aragon steps, is that they appeared overnight. And I'm like, yeah, I bet they did. Because the X Factor was like overnight.
Here we are. Now you can really see how huge this place is.
Oh my gosh, look at this.
nice.
There's brick everywhere. Look at that.
Yeah. How in the hell did they get the brick up there?
Unbelievable.
With
This whole entire canyon seems to be melted structure.
all right, let's see. Moving along. Yeah,
No.
brick lines.
Yeah.
Brick lines everywhere.
Yeah, and it seems to have that light coating over it.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, the crust that's been built with the heat and pressure. Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And that's the stuff that Karos was tripping away at in his one video.
Yes.
And look at this. Look, this is just beautiful, and it's huge, and this is at the bottom of the canyon.
Yes, Steve did make mention this to me. He did say this in a phone call that one day we'll hear people are going to the flat Earth who were in Meltology first. Yes, Steve, I do remember that conversation.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
No, that's what got me there when geology fell apart.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love it. I love that you went for geology. You went to college for geology. And the narrative just falls apart, and then it takes you straight to flat Earth, and then it's just amazing because you have to question everything at that point, at any point, really. But it's starting to get large. It's starting to be the things that surround you in your world, and then it is your whole world you have to question.
No, and that's when academia in general begins to fall apart, and world governments. Everything
absolutely
just disintegrates along with the gold model.
Yep.
It's the thing,
and it's a beautiful day when that happens.
No, it's central to holding all of the deception together.
Yep.
The globe model.
Absolutely. It's the biggest, it's the first lie, I always say. Flat Earth was the first lie.
But yeah.
And all the other lies branch down from that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And since the last X Factor event, that's all they've done as their first priority is to hide what we're on, and then lie to us about everything around us, and then lie to us about what really happened in the timeline. Because we're about 10 to 13 generations in from the last X Factor event, in my opinion.
And I'm just going to go kind of fast here so we can get to the Apache Death Cave.
All right.
But because it's pretty much all the same stuff, but just everywhere. So we kind of get the gist now. Yeah, look, it's super scorching here, that black stuff coming down, brick lines here in the rocks. Maybe, melted wall here, maybe more of a modern wall here in the front to support the narrative.
The line up there is really interesting, the white line.
Yes. I bet if we got up on that, that's just like quartz or something, just totally crystallized.
Yes, looks like the mortar crystallized and the bottom part just melted. What's really interesting.
Oh. The room functions.
Yeah, like they know.
Getting into the specifics here of how they lived. I mean, it's just ridiculous. The super melt right here. This looks like original melting to me back here. Here in the front, I'm not so sure.
But their narrative is that a whole tribe lived here across this whole ridge line all through here. That's what they're saying.
Yes, I forget the dates. Around 1200 AD, this area was inhabited by the Pueblo, the ancestral Pueblo Indians, whom the Hopi are descended from. And this was a bustling farming community.
Farming? Up on cliffs?
Yes.
They're farming. They're bricking. They're not farming.
Yeah, they're bricking. That's too funny. Okay. Yes, that is... This is pretty interesting right here, this little guy hanging out. So, all right, moving right along here. More.
Wow.
Just super melt. Got a bunch of bricks in here.
You love to see it. Look at it. Crystal, you want to hear something else pretty fascinating?
Oh, yes.
We're in 2022. We're 2022 years past what?
Are you talking about the AD, BC?
Yeah, the 0 point.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
What is it?
Well, our timeline's altered, so I'm not. Are you talking about the birth and the death of Christ and all of that?
Absolutely. Yes.
Oh, okay.
So everybody who bags on Jesus, doesn't believe in Jesus, always criticizes the Bible and Jesus and all this stuff, all across the plane, we're in 2022. We're 2022 years. And even though it's a lie, the timeline's off, they added 1,000 years. We're all seem to be in agreement that it's past not the birth of Buddha, not the birth of Krishna, not the birth of Shiva, but the birth of Jesus. So that's interesting.
No, yes. And I'd love to talk to you about the timeline alteration. I'm beginning to get into that, and I have so many questions. And especially the J that you guys that's interesting.
Yeah, I think Shapu, and I think I also have some old timeline videos, them adding 1,000 years on and stuff. I could share those with you.
Yeah, I need to go back and watch all of your stuff. But here we have a nice little fragment hanging out in the melt. So,
oh yeah.
Here we are. Super scorching on the back wall. This looks like original melt to me here. Maybe more modern here. Built out of the same stuff, but
yeah, it looks cooked, especially those big blocks right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, nice split right there. So super blocking there. Super blocking.
Oh my gosh, look at it.
Yeah. No, those are sedimentary layers. Eroded sedimentary layers. And the limestone.
Or God is a mason.
Yes, or yeah, you got it.
God is a master brick mason. I'm convinced of it now.
You know, it was so interesting because all of the photos that I took, I waited to make sure there weren't people in the photos to get the best photos possible. But I heard so many conversations of people talking about what they were looking at. And it was just interesting to overhear it. Not poking fun at anybody, but it was just so interesting to see the people that are still under the veil, the spell. And I'm sure that myself, there are many veils and spells that I'm still under. So, you know,
it's like when you hear somebody talking about, oh, did you hear the asteroid's going to come close to us next week? And I'm like,
whatever, dude. Yeah. Like, I'm not worried.
Space is fake and I'm out of here. See ya.
Here, definitely some brick fragments in the top here. Very clear.
Absolutely.
In here.
Look, you can see how it's just melting over itself. That is really good evidence.
And this would be defined as a conglomerate texture where you have like the different types of rocks coming together in a sedimentary layer, and then it solidifies. You know, the rocks that end up in the sediment due to erosion, and then it solidifies somehow. This would be defined as a conglomerate texture or a partially melted bricky texture. So moving on. They
have a sedimentary layer called red wall sedimentary layer. They just leave out the word brick. They should call it red bricks wall sedimentary layer.
Look at this giant sea sponge.
Oh, right, Shapu?
You know, I enjoy flipping through some of my old college geology textbooks, and it's funny because like in the diagrams of the Grand Canyon, they use like the brick icon.
Yes, we showed it on one of my shows where the sedimentary layers are laid out in a diagram. This is what they teach each other. These nothing against you, jackwagon geologists.
Yeah, no,
and it says red wall sedimentary layer, and it's made of brick. You can see the brick pattern. They drew brick in there, and I'm like, why don't they just say red brick wall sedimentary layer?
No, but it's just so in your face. Like, look at this, totally melted blocks, man.
Wow, look at that.
Isn't that just crazy?
Yeah, and it looks like it's about to slump down. Like if it would have kept going, it would have slid down, whatever it's coming down there.
Yeah. Here, more on the design. Overhanging ledges protected rooms from snow and rain and shaded them during the summer months. Thick walls of stone and mud, blah, blah, blah. So, no doubt these
They'll admit it was a building, but they'll have to lie about who built it and when it was built.
I mean, I'm sure it did make great shelter, but boy, they didn't build it. So, are super scorching here in the back. I'm not so sure the age of this in the front, but
Yeah, that one might be a little newer. I don't know. Some of them, they rebuild back up, like Shapu was saying, even, or they'll, clean it up for tourism to give you. When you have a visual, visuals always help. This is why we show visuals. But, people are out there. They'll go to like even a museum. They'll make a miniature of the way the area used to look or something, so people can grasp.
They made a bunch of dinosaurs. So
Yeah, there you go.
yeah, the dinosaur hoax. That's wow. There's so much to talk about in regard to that. Here is a brick in the melt. Hello, brick. I see you.
Just another brick in the melt.
Yeah, exactly. And this really caught my attention. Looks like, I don't know, melted mortar here, maybe some melting bricks and mortar. This looks like melted mortar here. Anyway.
Yeah.
Really interesting stuff. And you can see down here at the bottom, you can see the shape of a brick right here.
Yeah.
So, me happy.
You're so pretty.
Thank you. I'm in my happy place.
You can see it. You can. You really can. You're being fulfilled.
Yeah.
Your cup runneth over.
It does. It does. With so much abundance. It's just, this stuff has brought so much meaning and purpose to my life. Super scorched.
Oh, look at that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I was wondering here, if we're looking at scorching from the melt, or if perhaps we're looking at scorching from fires that were in these areas. I don't know. I didn't go scrape the rocks.
yeah.
Some might be from the melt. Some might be carbon deposits from fires. I don't know.
Yeah, if you have touched it, you haven't known, because it's if soot, you have known what right away, because your finger would be black. But
Yeah, my gut's telling me it's not. Only the way it's laid out.
I would think. Oh, I'm sorry.
More in one spot, you would see it.
yeah, exactly.
More concentrated.
How many fires you got in there?
Yeah, I mean, if they lived there, they must have lived there for hundreds of years at least. Yeah.
It should be all black, So.
Yeah.
And a lot of time has passed since this area was inhabited by the Pueblo. So I would think the soot would have washed away somehow. I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
And you really would want to have your fire more towards the front, near your doorway there, because back in your back part of your little house there, it'd be right up against the wall. It wouldn't even make any sense. You'd fill your room up with smoke, and it would be bellowing out your little doorway.
I didn't think about that.
They have these small opening in the drawings that she showed us, to let the smoke come out.
And up here we have that same super black scorching.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And usually if you're going to have a fire or say a cooking area, it's going to be in one localized area and in that area only, for however long they live in that spot. That's what you would think. They're not going to move their fire all over the place.
Come back to one. Is that the size of the door there, Crystal?
Oh, sure. I'll go back.
Yeah, they look pretty small.
There we go. Yeah, very, very small.
So what's that all about? There were tiny people?
Don't know. Maybe
Is that the doggy door? I don't know. What's going on here?
Here's another. Here we are. Size of the doorway back there.
Yeah, like 3-4 feet. Maybe.
Yeah. And this to me looks like an original wall, because look at this coloration down here. See that?
Yeah.
It just struck me,
Oh yeah. Yeah, but either way, even if it isn't, what's in the wall now has definitely been X factored. Whether it's been moved around and replaced there, that's X factor stuff.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
Giant part of structure collapsed, fell off. Clear sedimentary layers right there in this eroded limestone.
Yeah.
So
Everything's all right angles, rectangular everywhere.
And the thing on top, that white,
here?
Yeah,
yes.
some bricks sticking out there. Look at those little little red bricklets there too.
bricklets, like chiclets, but bricklets.
Right. That's Bill Miller's term. I give him full credit for that. He came up with bricklets.
Bricklets
And baby bricks.
That's so cute. I love it. I'll have to remember that. Now, this is very interesting. I mean, this reminds me of some of the Sodom and Gomorrah stuff. And certain areas I was able to chip off quite easily.
Yeah, this looks like a real big rock curtain over. Yeah.
Definite super cook going on here. And you can see the brick lines up here very clearly.
But yeah, you know what? This is exactly the same thing that you just showed, but this one has been covered up, you know? Because look at the dip, the rounded, and then it goes really straight. So it could be exactly the same thing but this one is just covered up totally.
It rock curtained all the way down the ground.
Yes.
That's what you're saying. Yeah.
Yes.
It would have only been halfway down. We probably would have seen that inner cut out of it. Right?
Yes.
It looks like this is where the overhang, like if you see my
exactly, yes.
And then all this right here is rock curtain that covered it up.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah, I see what you mean. I didn't see
that's what I. Yeah.
You could probably poke through there, even maybe. You know, you said it chips away pretty easy.
Yes, in certain areas it chipped away very easily. Yes. Yeah, good eye, Shapu. I didn't see that before. Yeah, this is just all rock curtained all the way down to the ground.
Hi, Rose.
Hi, Rose.
All right. This
Patty
is
Melt's in the house.
Hello, Patty Melt. And this is like the reminiscent of Sodom and Gomorrah here. Getting into the almost the ashy texturing in certain places.
Wow.
I'm trying not to leave the comments up that long because I want to get the full view of these pictures, guys. Wow.
Let's see. I'm just going to keep on going so we can get to the Apache Death Cave.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can really clearly see bricks in here. I mean, it's just really obvious. And right there's one, right there's one, you know, it's just everywhere. So
look at that rock curtain. You can see it's running down over itself and starting to cover things up.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Pictures. Excellent footage. Excellent everything here, Crystal. You got really clear, really good pictures.
Oh, thanks a lot. I appreciate that. Interesting little circle here, aperture that's filled in somehow.
Yes.
So super cook.
Wow.
Yeah, very clear blocks right here.
Oh my gosh, just look at it.
Yeah, I mean the whole cliffside is like this.
Yes. Incredible.
Yeah, very clear red bricks here, guys. And there's like that coating you were talking about. Looks like it hasn't completely cooked off here. We have a nice corner right here.
Look at that. And what's those things sticking out up there at the very top? What's that? That's weird.
Just part of the structure maybe collapsed.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, I was wondering the same thing.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Very clear bricks here. Very, very clear.
Absolutely.
And you can see some bricks in here and the melt. There's There's another brick. There's a brick. There's a brick.
We got to get you a chisel hammer.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love to. I don't have one. I definitely.
Eros would be having a field day out here.
More clear bricks here on the side.
Wow, that's
Brick
really
hanging out
melty.
there. Yeah, super melty. All right, moving along. Same picture.
Yeah.
All just pretty much the same stuff at this point, just a ton of it. So
Wow.
yeah,
Look
some
at that.
part of the structure right there. So yeah, very, very cooked out. Red brick everywhere. Chunk of structure that fell over here. Great shot of the layering here in the canyon wall.
Yes.
Another overhang right here, I guess that hasn't completely rock curtained.
Right. Yeah, that would have definitely come down over.
You got your sedimentary layers right there.
Yeah.
So this was wild. I actually made a little video over here, but this part of the structure sticking up like that was very interesting. Reminds me of some of the old world structures you see in Turkey.
Yeah.
There's this one in particular. I can visualize it, but I don't know where it's located. But
It almost reminds me of a melted obelisk or maybe a statue.
But this area was very interesting. This overhang that hadn't rock curtained yet. I mean, look at this, guys. I mean, geez,
Wow.
just so obvious. Just bricks in here, just cooked out. Just, come on, those
Wow.
aren't sedimentary layers. Are you kidding me? This was so cool. I was so excited I found this.
Wow.
Okay, so going back all right, so this right here, I found on this wall over here. So that little bit of cooked brick was on this wall right here.
Wow.
So
Wow.
yeah, look at that little surviving little bricklet. So
That's a good one. Look at that.
you can
It's
still
even
see
got some red in it.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
That's proof. That's what that is.
Yeah. And so this would be defined as like an inclusion, one type of rock and another type of rock, like
And look below it, the indentations where bricks would have been right there. Yeah.
I guess they fell out.
Sometimes they melt out, or sometimes they'll melt out of their spot and leave a void there. You see that in Vesuvius too, in a lot of spots.
Look at that, guys. That is a brick in the melt.
It sure is.
Wow. And then same spot. So super cooked out. And just moving along. Got some more layers there. Here's that overhang. Very fascinating.
Yes.
Overhang. Look what the heck's going on here, guys. Look at all these little holes.
Wow.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are actual holes. That's not just scorching in the shape of circles. Those are actual holes. You can stick your hands in there. So, and you can see some, of course, bricks here in the melt.
These could have been like little portico windows or something.
Yeah, and you can see the little bits of brick here as well. See, there's one, there's one, there's one, there's one. Yeah, lots of little brick chunks in here. Just like that picture I showed a minute ago of that little red brick remaining in the melt. These are the same thing, just smaller.
They look like almost like the Sodom and Gomorrah sulfur balls too.
Oh, I gotta go out there one day. Oh,
Right.
like I have this Algeria too. Oh my gosh, I want to go to Algeria.
Algeria is crazy.
Yeah. Same area, different perspective.
Yeah, the roof, the top part is just melted river,
All this debris here in the foreground.
Yeah.
You see, there's a part of a brick you can jeez. It's just, I don't think I blinked once the whole time I was here, walking around with my jaw hanging. Yeah. See, just wow, bricks in the melt. So more of the same stuff. There you go.
Wow, look how extensive this place is, guys.
Crazy.
Whole damn cliff is just a building.
Exactly.
There's the visitor center up there with the magic school bus book for sale. I should have bought that. I regret not getting that. So I'm sure I'll be back here. Maybe they'll still have some. Yeah. See, there's a part of a brick in the melt there. More layering. So.
This one's nice.
Oh, wow. Look at this, guys.
Now, I don't
This is the
know.
flat road. Yeah.
These are obviously melted bricks, and I think this might be newer construction here to build the path.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, we got all this going on here. It's all been cooked.
Yes, looks like they just took the chunk that were laying around and just put them there.
Yeah.
Because you can see the same one right in the middle of the picture right there.
Right here. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
This is nuts. Yeah. This does not look new. This looks X Factor.
Yeah.
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 Look at
Mary's
this.
asking, Crystal, Mary wants to know if there's any water sources around here.
Oh boy, that's a wonderful question. Yes, but I don't know exactly where, but there are water sources all over the place in Flagstaff. Yes. Little creeks and stuff. I'll have to get back with more specific information on that though. I don't know much about it.
At the bottom of this canyon, is there water?
You know, I don't know.
So it was too far down?
It was that deep. I couldn't see the
Oh,
water.
okay, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, because, you know, people need water.
Yeah, I remember in some of the narrative placards, they talked about how irrigation channels were created throughout here. But much beyond that, I don't know. So.
Look at this thing that fell
Oh, right
down.
here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that probably came from up there somewhere and just melted down off. Look at this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, super drippy, super melty.
That's a sedimentary layer that just slapped itself on the side of that thing.
Oh my gosh, guys. Yeah. This is why
A vertical sedimentary layer.
this is why I can't sleep anymore. I like lay in my bed and look at these pictures on my iPhone. Yeah. Just look, here we go. Brick hanging out right there.
Oh my gosh.
Some more
that's
bricks
so
there.
Oh, yes.
fun. Look at it.
Much better when you see pictures from someone who knows what
Yes.
you're looking at. You know.
Yeah, you know what you take pictures of changes when you go to places like this.
Yes.
You just notice you're in an entirely different reality when you go to places like this now. Bricks hanging out. There's a brick. There's a brick. There's a brick. For time's sake, I'm not going to play the video, so I'll upload them to my channel later. Just, yeah, more lines, super cook.
Wow.
Oh, here's we're getting close to the end of the photo set. So here's that. This is so interesting to me, this chunk of structure that just fell off the side.
Yes.
Let's see, maybe this one's worth playing.
This is really interesting.
Oops.
So you can see little pockets of surviving brick everywhere throughout here. And then there's a lot of glare on my screen. Ah, there we go. Look at that.
Yeah.
That part just collapsed and fell over. How interesting.
Yes.
Look at that.
Yeah. The bottom part is
You can almost see it happening in your head when you look at the mouth.
Yeah. This place just massive. Oh, here. This is just wonderful.
Right, Crystal? When you're looking at this stuff, can you visualize it?
Oh,
I think you're muted,
yes.
Crystal.
Oh, I muted myself?
No, you're good. You're good now.
Yeah, you were muted for a second, but yeah, we were saying about the melt, like replaying it in your head. Like when you look at the melt, you can almost visualize this thing melting and sliding down the hill and stuff, you know?
Oh yes, absolutely. I'm always thinking of the series of events that occurred to create the landscape, like this happened, this fell on that, and then that broke off, and then this tumbled
Right.
down, and about this section of the cliff, and oh, absolutely, it's just always
So
this
now
little
our
video.
imaginations are like getting rejuvenized during this, investigation of meltology here, because it's a study and exploration of melted structures, which is exactly what you were doing here in this picture. And we're trying to, like back engineer this whole X Factor event and how these things came to be in the positions that they are here and stuff.
No, and your intuition, and it's like your third eye, and your intuition just starts to really expand, and you just you feel so in tune with your environment in a way
Yeah.
you never have before when you understand what you're looking at. And so
Yep.
this awareness, changes your vibration. And since your vibration is different, your interaction with these places is different because
your awareness has expanded. Our awareness was kept in that box of their narrative, and now our awareness has expanded out from that box, and it's kind of like, next level. You're leveling up in your awareness. Your spirit is growing.
Yeah, no, and so when you go to these places, just like you said, you're vibing differently, and everything is a vibration. These places are a vibration. Physical matter is it's all a vibration, and so your interaction with these places is different, and it's like these places begin to speak to you, and speak through you.
Yeah.
Does that make sense at all?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Geez. The whole cliffside is just structure. And look at this little pocket down here. That's why I took that picture. See, right here, bam. I decided to haul some bricks up in there.
Yep, they just needed some brick there to hold that up.
Yeah, that would be a really convenient place to seek shelter. So.
Yeah, Crystal, the world is always communicating with you, but when you are too busy doing your job, going everyday life, you don't hear anything, This is
No, it's like, oh, I'm sorry, Shapu, please go ahead.
No, I was done. Okay.
That's why they have us on the rat race wheel, to keep us going, so we walk right past this stuff. We get on with our busy little lives that don't really mean much or have any meaning for us. And we're sleepwalking through life. All this stuff has been right here in front of our faces this whole time.
Yeah.
No, it's to keep us distracted.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
Right. Tension and harmony. This was interesting. With its steep and sheer walls, Walnut Canyon provided home building advantages along with controlled access. Living here, people were situated to monitor their world. This was not uncommon. Most villages of the time had some form of passive defense and line-of-sight communication. Horizontal ledges served as pathways connecting home to home, such as those visible across the canyon. It's just, what? Using smoke signals?
Probably, yeah.
How can you see anybody across the canyon?
Yeah.
What's going on here?
What is that?
Yeah. Interesting.
Nice. Wow.
Scale. So, prickly pear. I love these cactus. They have these wonderful fruit on them that you can actually eat. And there's prickly pear jam. That's super popular here.
No.
It's actually quite good. All right, we're coming to the end of this cliff homes and canyon life. Families lived, worked, and played in Walnut Canyon, tending crops on the rim. Traveling to gather food and collecting water from the canyon bottom?
Yeah, okay.
How in the hell?
How did they get all the way up to, what are they, hoisting this stuff up? I mean, what's going on here?
Like, I didn't even see the bottom of the canyon. So it may be difficult to imagine living here, constantly negotiating this rugged terrain. Our motorized lives make it easy to forget that throughout most of history, people's existence was much more physical. Oh my gosh.
Gotta love the narratives.
Okay, guys, if how are we doing on time?
We're doing good. We want to go to that
Apache Death Cave? Sure.
Apache Death Cave. Yes.
I'll blow through the Colorado River Gorge pics real quick, spend about 5 minutes on this, and then move right into the Apache Death Cave. Is that good with you guys?
Yeah, sounds good.
I
Okay.
need to take like a bathroom break right now.
Oh, you need to take a break, Shapu? Do you want
No,
to take
no, but you can continue. I'll just go.
Oh, okay. All right. So, yeah, I'd love to spend just an hour on these photos, but this is very near the Grand Canyon. I think about 20 miles. This is called the Little Colorado River Gorge, and of course, since it said no drones, I definitely flew a drone there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
anyway,
wow.
now. What's really mind-blowing about this is, I mean, this is, I don't know, but hundreds, like, I don't know, 1,000 feet deep or something. I mean, this is so deep. And the Colorado River is here at the bottom. And, you know, as you look down through the sides of the gorge, it's all layering. And of course, we're taught, you know, these are sedimentary layers, but I really believe what we're looking at here are structure, is structure. And so the question is how deep do these go, and what are we walking on top of?
Exactly. Where is ground level really? We don't know. And I'm pretty convinced that I'm living on top of a melted building because there's little bricklets all over my backyard.
Yes, and same here. And then, guys, I have.
Oh my gosh, look at this stuff! Wow.
Yeah, we need an hour just for these pictures. I might come back to them later. But just to give you a sense of the scale of how massive these structures must have been. And what have we got going on? I mean, just everywhere, just X-factored, wasted civilization, every direction you look in out here. Like we're on the top of a melted building here.
Yeah.
And then I'll move quickly.
Oh, look at that.
Like we almost have a fold beginning to occur here, what they would term as a fold, which we now know is simply a contorted brick layer.
Yeah. Wow.
Here we go.
Hello from the Little Colorado.
Oh, no, this isn't a drone video. Moving on. I'm going to get to the drone video real quick.
Look at that melt right there. Look at it. Wow.
And it's so hard to get the scale in here, but this is so deep. And this looks like an aperture here that filled in. I'm not sure. But you see a lot of that. You see a lot of these rectangular sort of indentations.
Right.
And there's one in Apache Canyon. I have a drone video of it. And anyway, but look at this nice corner that Mother Nature created there.
Yeah, nice right angle quarter.
Yeah, nice 90 degree angle there. So yeah, just this is structure, guys. Just
look at that. Wow.
How big were these places? I can't stop thinking that. I think that's why I couldn't sleep on the whole trip. I'm just laying awake in bed at night trying to figure out what the hell I saw.
Yeah, because once you get to the level of, you know, mountains or melted buildings, and this is where a lot of people get lost and they can't grasp it.
Yeah. And I mean, and here's the Colorado River down at the bottom. And I mean, you can see the layering all the way through here. So nice right angle there too. I mean, and here kind of fell off and collapsed. I mean, I'm going fast here, but
you're doing great.
This is just nuts. All right, we're gonna skip that for now, but I have a ton of pictures of the gorge. I went to Horseshoe. I think Horseshoe Bend is the name of this place.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I envision like some massive castle here.
Well, isn't there like an opening right in the middle of this thing in the middle?
I'm not certain. It was super packed with tourists, and I was getting a lot of anxiety, so I didn't stay long. I was only here maybe 15 minutes.
Yeah, I understand.
So, see all that. tourists make me kind of nervous. It's such a cash cow here.
Yeah.
$10 per car, and so many people stop to see it.
Yeah. I know. Everybody goes and take a picture in this place.
And this was interesting. This was near Glen Canyon Dam.
Look at
Nice.
this.
And actually, like, I crawled through a fence to get up here. It's by the dam. And I have a drone video. This is all it doesn't go in very far. It just kind of closes up. So very interesting.
You know what it reminds me of? Remember that picture we showed last night, Shapu, of that one mountain-looking thing
Just
with
right
the little
here?
doorway at the bottom?
Right here?
Yes.
Picture.
Yes. The old pictures.
Yeah,
You
go
mean?
back to the picture, Crystal. Yeah, that one there.
Okay.
Yeah, so we showed a diagram last night of an old drawing of what looked like a mountain, and it had this little doorway-looking thing just like that at the bottom of it.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of stuff in Turkey like that, too.
Yeah.
I would love to go to Turkey. Oh, my gosh. All right, so let's move on here. And let's see, where is it?
No, Arizona looks pretty. There's a lot of similar thing with Turkey.
Oh, yeah. And I'm getting Jasmine ready for Halloween, just so you guys know.
Gosh, she's so cute.
She's going to be a bumblebee for Halloween.
Nice.
She's adorable.
Yeah. My little friend. So, all right. Okay, guys, we have arrived at the Apache Death Cave. So I haven't sorted through these yet. So we're just going to have to, this is disorganized, but I'm going to do my best to get through it.
Yeah, how long ago were you there?
Day before yesterday.
Okay.
So I have let's see here. Whole time?
No, it's recording again.
All right, let's see here. Where's the Okay, let's start with this video.
Hey guys, hello from somewhere inside the Apache Death Cave. And I don't have pants on or gloves or anything. And I just tried making a video while I was crawling down this passageway. And it's really cumbersome trying to do it with a flashlight and a cell phone. So I need to come back here with with some pants and gloves and a small person that can fit down in here with me, because I'm sure I'm not going in this cave that far by myself, because apparently 42 Native Americans were slaughtered down here somewhere. So I've had ghostly encounters in the past, and one was quite terrifying to go back there alone. But I'm coming back here and see what's in there. But I just wanted to point out that the brick lines and the block lines, definitely crawling around in a melted structure that goes seemingly quite far underground. And yeah, I'll get into the
Okay, let's move on. This is there's all right, like I said, sorry, I'm a little disorganized here. Here's all right.
Hey guys,
here we are. This is the one.
Of venturing into the Apache Cave of Death.
This is really interesting, guys.
Yes.
Wow. Ooh.
Like walls in there and everything.
Yeah. This is an underground building.
When they call this a cave, that's what they.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't call it a mine. They gave it the Indian narrative instead of the mine narrative.
Fused and melted bricks here again. Definitely melted brick lines. And I wonder where that goes.
Yes.
Where I'm gonna go. Okay, pretty wide. It's not too terrifying, just slightly terrifying.
Are you by yourself at this point?
No. My Sasha's my husband. He's with me here, but he's scared shitless, so it's not making me feel much better.
See some milk right there.
Look at this room. That's a big room right there. It's all kind of filled in.
It's Jasmine the cave dog. More very clear.
Wow.
Block lines right
Guys,
here. Oh, it gets really narrow back there. I wonder if I can squeeze.
Look at this.
Yeah, look at all the brick lines, guys. This is underground.
Here we go. All right. Into the squeeze. Ooh. Guys, this is spooky as shit.
See, this part here where it gets real narrow, what I think's happening is the melt is closing in on itself.
All right, guys, I gotta turn sideways to do this.
I think you're right.
Take off my tank.
Yeah, just kidding. It reminds me of a lot of the slot canyons.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Please don't let me down here. All right. Into the squeeze I go. Lots of, very clear break lines. Okay. Wow. Nice and cool down here too. It's a hot day. And this isn't far from me.
I hope
by the way.
I hope this video is okay, guys. It's kind of, I didn't have a GoPro, so it's kind of cumbersome.
No, you're good.
Yes.
It looks good.
This is crazy, guys.
Wow. Look up top there. You see those few ripples up top. It's like the pressure of the building make that ripple out like that.
Yeah.
You can see the coloration of the rocks a bit better here.
See it? Those ripples?
Yeah.
Coloration.
Ripple effect.
Mhm. But yeah, the reason I wanted to share these videos is because you can really see the underground brick lines, and see the brick lines there, and
Yes.
yeah, not the best photos, but this was on the way to Meteor Crater. It was sort of an impromptu trip, so look at that.
Just the opening on top is just something,
Yeah. This is that one slot that I was squeezing down. Look at that, guys.
Wow, look at it. Look how straight it is. That's crazy.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen like the pictures from the inside. That's why I wanted to see if you went there. I just saw like the exterior part.
Yeah, the exterior, you can tell it's a building. The interior, I think I watched Richie from Boston one time on one of his road trips. He went into this place, and that was when I had just come on the melted buildings, and I'm like, oh shit, he's in a melted building. He doesn't even know it.
Let's see. I have a video of actually walking down into here. Oh, and okay, this is interesting. So you can see the entryway. Yeah.
Yes.
Make this bigger. So I just turned the volume down, the narration. All right. So here's the entryway.
Yep.
Look at that giant chunk of collapsed structure right there.
Yes. Yeah, that would have been probably vertical.
Mm-hmm.
Or it could have been horizontal across the top there, but look at it.
Wow. Look at that. Again.
This structure got muffed up.
Yes.
So once again, I mean, you're walking on the top of a melted building here as you walk out to this.
Yep. Oh, look at that red.
There's a super sketchy little bridge that you have to walk down to get down in there.
Wow.
So how deep this goes, I don't know. But that video, that first little passageway that I was crawling down, there's a ton of them out there. So I'm going to go back here with actual gear. Sometime.
Yeah, I think they used to all link up or something, but some of them have collapsed or something.
Yeah.
So it was an interconnected building. It was massive. And that's probably what you're connecting, like the other tunnels are. It's just more parts of the building, the same building. Like the Great Wall of China, that's probably just the top of the whole building. The rest of it's melted down and away, and that's what's left. 7,000-mile long walkway going across interconnected buildings.
And so here's the top, right? So walking on the top of the building, and the entryway is down here in this crevice, in this collapsed area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's underneath that bridge. That's where the entryway is to this.
Yeah, so you're just entering one of the levels that was within the building, but the rest of the building, it could have been much higher, and it's just crazy to try to even imagine what it looked like.
All right, let's see here. Meteor craters next. How are we doing on time? How much longer do we have?
We have a little bit longer, and then I got to give it over to Shapu. You got about 10 minutes.
No, I don't really have to show something. I'm getting a bit tired, but
I can save the rest of my stuff for another time. I certainly didn't mean to take up the lion's share of the presentation here, guys.
No,
so
Crystal.
It's
all good. When you told me what you had, I knew we were going to do it like this anyway, and I wanted you to get all this out on here because this is just amazing stuff, and people need to see it. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, but I can save the rest of my stuff because I still have the all of the stuff at the lava flow in
and I definitely want to see those, the lava flow stuff. I love that kind of stuff.
So I'll save that for next time. Here's just a quick teaser of the so I mean this place was massive. So okay, well guys, I'll stop there. Thank you for bearing with me so long because I'm only like halfway through my stuff, so I'll save it for another time.
It's no problem. You know what we should do? We should set up a show besides this melted state of Arizona and just finish out and look at your stuff and everything and just do Crystal Pyramid show.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And I can go get some more evidence for that too.
Yeah, there you go.
Right, okay. Thank you again so much for giving me a platform to share this stuff on. I really appreciate it. So.
No problem at all. And how's your sub count going since the last time? I think we had you at 100.
I'm over 100 now. I'm like up at like 115, 116.
Nice. So, very good.
And
very good.
Stop my share. How do I do that?
No, you're good. Drop it.
Thank you guys. I'll be quiet now.
Yeah, Thank you, Crystal. Amazing footage. And like I said, it's so much better when when someone films and take pictures of these places and they know what they're looking at. You can really focus on certain points. But like you said, we need more people because only you cannot all see all with you because you spot something and you're looking at there and you cannot like see it all. You need more meltologists with you,
Mm-hmm. And small people that can fit in tight spaces.
Yes.
All meltologists. So.
Yes.
We need to get you one of those cams that go on your hat, on your helmet or something, and you just go through and you'd be good then.
Yeah, I need to get one. Again, thank you. Thank you so much. So.
Oh, it's our pleasure. So we're going to give it over to Shapu. Unless you guys want to take a break, I could play a song and we could take a break real quick, or we could just get right into it, Shapu. It's up to you.
I don't even know what you want me to show, After that, I cannot add.
You can't top that.
Only other places in Arizona, that probably you didn't see yet. I could. What do I got? It's just canyons, other canyons. There's Superior, Arizona. You're near there.
We could, we could do if you want. We'll look at that, but we could also check out the maps for Italy.
Oh, okay. If you want to do the maps, we can do that too. Yeah. What you want to do, Jen? I'm a bit tired. My brain is just.
Oh, I love you. We're at the 3-hour mark. If you want to shut it down, we can shut it down and we can just continue another time.
Yeah, but yeah, we can go. I don't know what you want to show. We can show the maps.
All right, let's go to the maps from last night. It's the mall collection. Is that how you say it? Mall collection?
I don't
think that's how you
remember.
say the name.
I will bring it up.
Yeah, so we were looking at all the cross sections of mountains and how that they're buildings, and there's all this structure inside. And there's a section in this link where they show the 1600s and 1700s maps of Italy, and on a lot of them, Vesuvius is not on it. And then it shows up at certain points, like maybe late 1600s, early 1700s in some of them. But we were able to zoom in really close to these maps and check out the whole thing, and it's pretty cool.
Vesuvius isn't on the map?
Nope. It's not on the map. And according to his story, it went off in 79 AD. So it should be on all these maps. How could you miss it? They have other cities there in that location.
What?
So we're going to look at that, yeah. Which is more proof that Vesuvius is not a volcano, just like, we've been saying this whole time.
Sorry.
I think we should all meet up in Hawaii.
Ooh. Yeah, Hawaii is really interesting. They have China Wall diving there. You could dive the China Wall. You could look that up on Google Images. China Wall, Hawaii.
I hadn't heard about that place.
Yeah, that's a brick wall underwater.
Pretty amazing.
I know about that.
Yeah, and then they have Diamond Head Crater, which I think was a melted down kind of cooling tower, Babelish looking thing there as well, just like Vesuvius. Like the 3 Mile Island reactors where they have those big cooling towers that kind of go up like that and they're real massive. You've seen them with the big smoke billowing out of them.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that the volcanoes look something like that originally.
Wow.
But melted down. And now they look like what they look like now.
Wow. That's an interesting thought.
Yeah. Of course, I could be wrong, but, buildings had statues in them, and Vesuvius clearly has a statue head embedded in the side wall. Did you see that picture, Crystal?
That was before it was bombed during World War II, right?
That picture has been found since the bombing. Now, that tells me that there must have been a lot more there before they bombed it. That's why they bombed it, because there's a statue head embedded in the side wall. You know what I'm saying? Clearly they missed it, or it got missed in the bombing, because I don't think it's very big. I think it's probably like maybe this big or so. All right, we're getting into a screen share.
Oh, okay. I just showed this place to Crystal. It's do you see it? Superior, Arizona. It's called Pinal Ruins. I don't know if you ever seen it, been there. Maybe drove across it. I don't know.
I've been to Picket Post Mountain many times, and I wonder if this is part of Picket Post that I just haven't seen before.
Okay, because look at all these broken part of the structures everywhere. And if you're near there, you can see all these blocks and
what?
There.
No, I have not seen this area in Superior.
Okay, it's called Pinal.
I will go there. Yeah, that's only an hour for me.
No, not so far, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is, again, this wonderful site. The guy just goes to all the places in Arizona with his drone, and look at this. The coloring and the...
Wow.
Yeah.
Just a giant chunk of structure right there that fell off.
Look at this.
Oh my gosh, guys.
Arizona got muffed up.
Yes. So much places. So much canyons.
Yeah. So many canyons, so little time.
Yeah. I have these these ones, you know, Hanaho Canyon, but I'll probably just show them next time. This Red Knolls in Graham County. I don't know if you.
Well, wait a minute. Look, we might have to play
I
this
didn't know
one.
about that.
Yeah,
Yes,
this one is just 57 seconds. So,
the Red Knolls in Graham Canyon.
Yeah.
Nope. New to
Graham
me.
County, yeah. Don't need the sound, but look at these pockets hole and
What?
yes.
No, I don't know about this place.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
You know, Arizona has so many places, and like I said, it looks so much like Turkey. It's amazing. Can even see like the flooring or something.
Yeah, it looks like Sodom and Gomorrah a lot too.
Yes.
What's going on there? It's just that circular. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, this is crazy.
Yeah, it looks like a flooring or something of the stages of the building.
Right. The rest of it on that other layer was like disintegrated away.
Yes.
And then little rooms everywhere.
If this has been melting more, it would probably look like a place like in Utah. You know, these pillars everywhere. You can see like between them, but in
Right.
this one, it's all covered. You know, all rock curtain over.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. He goes down
Yeah.
in this hole.
And there, yeah, it's going in, but it is just
Oh.
the previews. This site, ancient aerials, pretty good.
Okay. Yeah, I got to check that out.
Yeah, look, I'll give you the link to this channel.
Okay.
If you will see, there's many places in Arizona that he goes there. So
Like I've seen so much, but I feel like I haven't seen anything yet. You know,
yes, exactly.
so much to see out here. It's
Oh
endless.
gosh, it would probably take you 10 years to look at everything in your state.
Yeah.
So these are the maps, I guess, from Italy.
Yeah, here we go. We can start with
Yeah.
that first one.
Yeah,
right there.
and I found one really older than these ones. Yeah, so let's start with this one because I think
Okay,
this
go ahead.
one's 1588, 84, they say. And
All right, we're looking for Vesuvius. Now
Yeah.
you see they got a mountain range of something there going around, so there should be no reason why they would forget a whole volcano if it exists.
so Neapolis, it's right here, you know.
Yep.
And Vesuvius should be like in this vicinity around here. Nola is here. And, you know, Salernum.
Yep,
But,
there's no Vesuvius.
No, there's no mountain of Vesuvius anywhere on this one.
I mean, how could you leave something like that off a map?
Exactly.
Yes.
And it's not no small thing, Vesuvius.
Yeah. No remains of the other places called like Pompeii and Herculaneum either. No, they're not there.
Yep. And San Angelo's not there either. We'll see that on the other maps.
No, it's called Minerva part. Minerva, I guess.
What year is this map again?
This one, they say it's 1584.
Okay.
Yeah, 1584 they say, but I don't know. When I downloaded it, they said 1584, but here it's written, I don't know, 40, 44. I don't know if this is the date.
Still, even in 1584, how would they get the vantage point of this to make a map like this? I mean, what kind of hot air balloon did they have?
And even, oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I mean that's a significant altitude you're going to have to be at to get this kind of detail on coastlines. So yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
And if Vesuvius should be there, and it's the one down here, what is it called again, Jen?
Etna?
Etna. Look, it should be there too.
Yeah, it's not
But
there.
this one, it's called Etnam, and it's only a hill, you know. It's supposed to be even older than Vesuvius. So
Yep.
this one I found from another site, but the Ramsey one, you know.
Yeah, let's click that one.
So this one, they say it's 1527 or 21598, you know. 1584 to be more precise. So maybe it's the same one, but in black and white. No, no. But you can see all these castles everywhere.
Again, there's that mountain ridge running up through Italy, and then we come to Salernum, and then Napoli, and now you have Vesuvius Mons, but there's no volcano. Now, this volcano supposedly went off in 1779 AD. There should be a volcano there, not so Mons or mounds or hills.
Yes. Yes, as we get closer to the 1700s, you'll see that Vesuvius start to be on the maps.
The 1700s, not all
Yeah.
that long ago.
And the 1776, I think, is right around where the X Factor happened. I mean, it could have been before, a little after that, but definitely within the 1700s.
And on this one, there's nothing, you know.
There's Napoli and then Salerno, and it should be right between the two.
Yes. Like you see that they drew like these mountains there, hills, but
No Vesuvius.
no.
That's significant, guys.
It's pretty frightening to consider that the X Factor event happened so recently.
I know it. It makes sense, though, about the lie, the timeline, and everything.
Like, how old is our history, really?
Yeah, good question.
Okay, so here we have Naples, Nola,
Salernum is here, and
no Vesuvius. Still
nothing.
missing. Not even a bump.
Not even a bump. Yeah. And like you point out to me yesterday, Jen, when I showed you that in some maps, like Vesuvius is right there in the middle, and now it's like right on the coast.
Right,
It's
right,
really
yeah.
interesting.
This is what me and Chapu do when we do our research. We talk to each other on a StreamYard link and go through these maps and look at different things.
Yeah.
So this one is a bit more stuff. Did I pass it? Yeah.
Yep, there is Nola right there. Zoom in on Nola.
Yeah, Nola, Napoli, Salernum is here. And there's Vesuvian Mons, but there's nothing, you know, no hill.
No hill, no mounds, nothing.
But they have put it right on the coastline on this one.
Right, which is where it would be where it's located now.
Yeah, but I think this map is closer to the 1700s.
Mhm.
So that's 702. You see. They say between this, but I don't know this date. There's two dates, you know. What? I'm not sure which one is the good one. They probably don't know even themselves. Because if there's no date on the map, I don't know how you found out what is the date from it, you know?
Right. How are they figuring this, right?
Well, they probably just made up a date depending on other maps, I guess. So here in this one, Neapoli, Salernum, but
Nothing.
there's Herculaneum, Pompeianium, but there's nothing.
Wow.
Nothing else. Yes.
No
So
mention
in the
of
1500s, in the 1600s, this map, they're saying that Herculaneum and Pompeii is there.
Yeah.
And there's no Vesuvius.
No.
And those two cities were supposedly destroyed in 79 AD by Vesuvius.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, baby. Another huge hole in the narrative.
Yeah.
More
And
proof.
what I like too, it's Rome. It's so small. They say that the Romans come, from Rome, and everything come from Rome. But sometimes you see like Rome, there's much bigger cities drawn on these maps, than Rome.
Right.
So I can't find it right now, but
I love looking at these old maps.
yes. We went through almost all of them last time. And did I click on this one? No, look in this one. There's something.
Yep, now they got something there. And we got the Herculaneum, Pompeii, and they got Vesuvius, but no name for it.
Okay, so I see Vesuvius right there, yeah.
Yeah.
No, there's no name.
No name. But Herculaneum and Pompeii are there, and they have it looking like it's going off.
What year is this again?
And this one, they say it's between 1675 and 1726, So the 17.
This is when it starts to show up on the maps, which to me would be like post X Factor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see, 1757 on this one. So it should be in there.
I love how small and like detailed these things are. They're just so cool.
And you see Neapoli, Pompeii, Sorrentium, Salernum, but
no Vesuvius.
There's no mention of a hill or any drawing of a hill like this,
And by this time, they should have had it on there.
Yes. Right, but we don't know exactly. Is there a date on the map, actually? You see again, there's no date on this map, so they have made up the date that they thought it was from. So no dates.
Is Etna down there in Sicily? I think it is. Yeah, it's right there.
They know what is a volcano.
But yeah, that's right.
Etna is there, but there's no Pompeii. No Pompeii.
Vesuvius. Pompeii's there though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's right there next to Napoli. Yeah. Pompeii shouldn't even be there. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Should have been destroyed a long time ago.
The narratives are just bullshit, guys.
So this one, they say the 1500s, and it shouldn't be there. Did I pass it again? No, yeah, see, right here. Yeah, exactly what I thought. Neapoli, Salerno, and in place of this volcano, you have like Soma.
And it's a town or a castle. Zoom in on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, right there, guys.
Because Soma, it's not on every map. It's only on the oldest ones.
And that literally right there is where Vesuvius should be, guys. Right there. Right next to that one river looking thing that goes in. That isn't even there anymore.
And there's no mention of the Pompeii or Herculaneum.
Right.
Yeah, but Suma is there. And when Herculaneum and Pompeii is there, Suma is not there.
That's right.
And that's something.
When Herculaneum and Pompeii are not there, Suma is there. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
This is some deep dive in research right here, guys. Me and Supu sit here for like an hour or two doing our own just research. I mean, it's like a whole nother live stream, but it's not live.
Yes.
I even said to him one day, I'm like, man, we should be recording this right now.
Yes, I remember. That time it was really good.
Yeah. We
Yeah,
have our holy shit moments. All right, where are we at here? NOLA? We got NOLA?
There's NOLA, or sometimes it's SUMA, and both. Sometimes there's both, but there's never like Pompeii or Calenium and NOLA and SUMA. So I don't know what's going on, But we have thought that these cities became Vesuvius at one point.
Man.
And this one is the date. They say 1618 to 1617. That's a big gap, because they probably have no dates again. Why would you make a map without a date?
Good question.
Because probably the date didn't matter to you.
So I had to step away for a minute. Did you find Vesuvius on this one? I don't think you did, right?
No, there's no Vesuvius.
My cat wanted to sit in a window. I had to open the window.
Yeah, but look, this one on the only hill there is, it's NOLA.
Right. And there's a structure there.
Yes. That's what I was saying. Sometimes it's NOLA, sometimes it's SUMA. And we have assumed that these cities became Vesuvius at one point.
Right.
Yeah. And I like these ones because they have all these cities like showing. Yes.
Starport cities.
Bill, look at when you zoom in, it looks like a modern city with all these skyscrapers and stuff.
That's exactly what I thought. There's all these skyscrapers there.
Wow.
But
That's
this
like,
is Siena. It's not even the one that John Levi did. The
Bologna. It's called Bologna.
Yes.
Yeah, all the towers.
Right.
The towers, crazy.
Yeah,
That's
like that.
crazy.
Like
Look, and they don't even know who built them or why they're there.
Yeah. And this is not even Bologna. I don't know if they have this. This is like, look, Roma. It's so small compared to the other ones.
Yeah, why was everything centered around Rome? Why did they give us that narrative? Why are they having us focus on Rome? Because they're taking our focus off of something else. That's what it is.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's a good point.
Misdirection.
Because if you look like Venice at that time and the other one,
go back. I just saw something. Go back to Napoli. Look at the hill in the background with the structure on it. That's Vesuvius right there.
This is NOLA. It's supposed to be Vesuvius.
And look, I mean, look at it. Oh my God. We found it.
Holy crap.
It's proof. It's a building.
Oh my gosh, guys. Oh my gosh.
You bomb the shit out of that, you're just going to have a crater.
Yep, exactly.
And look in the background. There's another one with another city on top.
Yes. Wow.
Oh my gosh, dude. That's a boom baby moment right there.
Yes.
Holy cow.
Most of that coastline in front of it's gone now. That's like the Bay Area.
Yes. There's only this left, I guess.
Oh.
Wow. This is crazy.
Oh, this is epic right here, guys.
This is a moment for sure.
Yes.
Wow. We got to take screenshots of this. This is like, wow. Oh my God. Next level right here. I'm having a holy shit moment. When you were scrolling across, I saw Napoli and that poking up. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, what? It's supposed to be Vesuvius. Yes.
This is why you got to go over these things. We didn't even catch this the first time. We're catching it live now, guys. And we have looked at this map before. We just go around the edges.
Yeah, you can see it right here. Like, look, NOLA on the hill.
So that proves when you go back up to that picture, because that's a landscape picture that we're looking at. When you go back up to that top part of the page at Napoli, that's what we call Vesuvius now.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. See,
remember,
you see how the truth comes to us? It came to us right here in front of you guys right now.
You remember the one that you showed, like Vesuvius was a building? It looks exactly like this.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Gosh.
It's in the video, the next level video. That's why there's a statue head embedded in the side, because these fucking buildings had statues in them. And
Yes.
gold and silver and all kinds of fucking shit.
Wow. I'm happy I didn't went to sleep.
This is great.
Wow.
I'm like, oh my gosh. We've never seen nothing like this, Shapu.
No.
We're gonna have to screenshot that and blow it up and share it and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, yes.
Front page news.
Oh my gosh, guys. What the hell?
Yeah.
It looks like Herodium. Because I
Yeah.
told you before, remember, I was surprised that they didn't say Herodium was a volcano. It was because there was too much shit that survived. But if
Yeah.
you would have, I think Vesuvius looked a lot like Herodium after the event, right? Because you could still see all this stuff. People were going up there to check it out. That's why we see pregnant women being pushed and pulled all the way up Vesuvius, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't to watch the volcano. It was to fucking see all this cool shit that was up there. So they bomb it.
Yes.
But they didn't bomb Herodium, right? They just went with the narrative. It's King Herod, and he built it.
Yeah.
The whole mound is the building. You know, they admit it there.
Yes. You can see, like, where's again? Napoli. Oh, I think it's, yeah. This is Napoli, the city. That
Where?
and this one here, the big
Okay.
one. You can
That's
see it,
Naples.
Napoli is right here. And look, this is the only mountain there. It's
And
no.
it's- yeah. And it's got that on. Yeah, it's it. Because it's even shaped like a cone shape, like volcano look. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like towerish, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And just go back to that picture again. I just can't stop looking at it right now. I'm like on a fucking cloud right now, guys. You don't even know. This is just epic. Wow.
Wow.
All right. So what we need to do is look up old drawings and lithographs or whatever of this time era, 1600s of Naples or Nola and stuff.
They probably have it on this site actually, because I click like Italy, and I click general territory, and then Sardinia, Venice, Milan, the Papal States, Tuscany, and Naples and Sicily. So,
So maybe we got it in there. Yeah. Wow. I'm blown away.
yeah, because
That's the
this
first
is
time I've ever seen it like that with buildings. It's just, and remember the John Levy video? Remember when he was talking about how I was showing buildings on the side of Vesuvius? Did you see that?
yes.
Oh my gosh.
So this is Napoli. But you see, we don't see like the mountain is right there. We don't see it.
It would be off to the right more where it cuts off.
This
Yeah.
one. 16, 17. I don't
What's
think
that?
there's
What's
no. This is
Oh,
told you? Remember in the last one we did the three comparison photo, and I said it looked like some kind of ziggurat thing. Look at it. Look at it.
yeah. This one is Castello St. Elmo. What? But this,
That would be it, wouldn't it?
I don't know. This
Because
Does
it's
it-
got the other hill behind it. Look, with the other thing on it back there.
it doesn't look high enough, but it could be. Could be.
I don't know. We'll have to look at other ones. I'm not going to get overly excited right now. I'm sorry. This is just crazy.
no, this is huge. this is massively huge.
You know that thing right there in the front? It looks like that castle thing sticking off in the water. Go down to the water. Or it's right there next to that big boat. It's that castle right there. That's all not there now. It's all melted away.
Yes, and on the other map, it's not even look like this
Right.
either. So
There's just a blob there now in the ocean when you look at Naples.
yes.
All right. We need to find another angle on Naples.
There's this one from high up, but now we go But look in this one, this Vesuvius,
Oh, look, there they have Vesuvius.
but it's on another side maybe.
Where?
Go
Right
back.
there.
There it
Okay,
is.
yep.
And this one's 1670 to 1757, which is when we expect to see it show up on stuff.
Yes.
The other ones were 15 to 1600.
Yes.
We're
And
headed
look, yeah, and they show you like this now, this big mountain, and they show you this, the inside of it, you know.
What?
I remember. Look at this. Are those steps? What is that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like they're teaching people that this is what these things are. You know, it's kind of like education class. They draw it out and say, this is what it is. This is how it works.
Yes.
We got it all figured out.
Yes, this is the castle that you thought it was, but it's not on a big hill. It's just
Okay.
small.
I gotcha. Yeah.
Castello St. Elmo. I think this is
Right. I was at the wrong angle on Naples there. That's got a little excited.
on the big map, it should be further, but you know, when you look at the distances, it's different. Yes. There's, look at this one. Maybe is it where you see?
Oh, it's got it up in the background there up top. Look, zoom in up top. You can see it. It looks like a puff of smoke going off in the background.
Yes, again, Vesuvius.
Yeah, what's the date on this one?
Again, the 17th.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's when you would see it. No, wait.
It's the same kind of map with this one and with Vesuvius, the inside of it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And it looks like structure there, you know?
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, look, there's like a river all around. Is it lava? They probably say.
You know, it almost reminds me of Horseshoe Bend, that the photo I shared earlier, that giant, you know, with the water around it. It kind of reminds me of that a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And you can see people going up.
Yeah, going up an active volcano. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Spitting balls of fire.
Surprised you're not pushing a pregnant woman up there.
Yeah. But you know, there's cities around it, but it's not Pompeii or Kilinium. It might be on the other side, but interesting.
All right, Chapu, listen, I'm going to get ready to get out of here. We've been on 3.5 hours, and as fascinating as this is and amazing as that picture up there was, I'm just blown away by that. I think we're going to end on that note.
Yeah, no chance for sleep tonight for me. Zero. Oh my gosh. Just going to be looking at naps all night. So
I've been there. When you come upon the truth, it's so overwhelming. You do have sleepless nights because you have to literally rethink everything you've ever thought.
Yes. But I have found out for myself around this time of the year, when it's fall and spring, I have always have trouble sleeping, and I don't know why, but it's just I have
allergies. I have a little issue with that, and that's been keeping me up too. But you know, the thoughts racing through your head when you come upon all these new truths, that's the part that you have trouble settling down when you want to go to sleep. It's just you're on. And I even said it one point. I think I said it to who was it? DJ. I said, I guess God doesn't require me to have that much sleep anymore, because I felt so turned on by all this stuff that I was just on all the time. I couldn't shut it down. But at the same time, I was still able to function. Exhausted as I was still okay. And it was like, okay, I must be vibrating at this higher vibration with all this truth coming at me that I just don't require as much sleep right now.
Yeah, it's not your body is tired, just your mind is just, yes, I know exactly.
Or you'll sleep a few hours and that's it, and then you're back at it.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, Crystal, thank you. You knocked it out of the park, and I can't wait to do a part 3 with you down the road here a little bit. And
Sure.
Shapu, you're amazing as always. I know you guys are tired. Do you have any closing thoughts or anything?
I want to thank Crystal for all this amazing footage. It's amazing, you know.
Oh, thanks for mentioning the places. I wasn't aware of them. So yeah, give me more places to go to. I'll go. So
Send them to you, you know.
yeah,
Yes, we do
again, a
this
huge
together.
sorry. Again, Jen, huge thank you. I need to get a Meltology 101 shirt. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll get that
I'd
over
love
to you.
get one. Yep, I'll shoot you a message to. Okay.
Okay, yes, absolutely. Guys, thank you so much. I got the links below to Crystal's channel, The Melted Truth, and Shapu's channel, Research My Research. Also, if you want to support Shapu's channel through PayPal, his link is in the description below as well. I'm so tired I can't even talk right now.
And Dana has just put a nice comment in the chat.
Respect. What's this say? Respect
No,
for your
you know, it's Ire.
Oh,
one.
let's scroll up.
Yes.
This is why we don't see Vesuvius on the maps before 1600. Oh, here it is. Oh, let me highlight this. Let me come up here. I got it. This one.
Yes, the big one.
There we go. The parasites controlling entities were finished with rewriting all books by the late 1600s in Europe, and they were finished with the same fraud by 1800s in North America. That's right, because that's when they started teaching his story around 1860s and the geological narratives.
Yes.
And started putting people in school and making school available to everybody so they drive home these narratives. It wasn't so much like, oh, we want to have everybody have an equal education. They wanted everybody to know the same fucking shit. Nobody asked questions.
Yes.
All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. I love you. And like I always say, let it not be said that we stood by and did nothing. I love you guys. And
Love you. Thank you.
I love you too, Shapu. We are out of here.
Bye,
Love you.
Crystal.